Hello, everyone. Welcome to our end of the year wrap up.
Woo!
We're going to go through our top picks for this year. We have a couple categories too, kind of some fun little mini Oscar-esque ceremony for us here. Our nominations are what we think deserves some of the best places this year.
Yeah, just some recognition, you know?
Yeah, some people deserve it. So let's start with our categories, just get some of these fun ones out of the way, and then we'll get to our top 10 later. So first category, best direction. So, this is a good one. It's a good, tough category to pick, but who wants to start off? Anyone have a good one that they want to kick it off with?
I can start with mine. I might be biased, obviously, but I thought best direction for 2021 was Dune. Dennis Villeneuve.
Okay. Good pick.
Yeah, I thought it was you adapt anything, there's going to be like gaps and stuff, or like, that kind of thing. But I think like he translated a pretty good vision, like, visually, sound, like all the stuff. The story beats are there, the character beats are there.
Yeah.
When it came down to it, I thought it was just like kind of like I only had like minute complaints about it,
Yeah.
A little bit of pacing, I thought, and like that kind of thing. Maybe some editing stuff, but
it's definitely the right picture for Denis Villeneuve to pick. It's like it's right in his wheelhouse to be the best director.
Right. And I recently watched Blade Runner 2049 for the first time this year.
Okay.
And I was like, I got vibes,
of
Dune, and
you can tell his style,
right? And it fit. I thought it fit well for like the world he was building, and I enjoyed Blade Runner because it was like another, like a
extension
revamp.
Almost kind of.
Yeah. And it felt really good. Same, like I could say the same thing about that as I do this, like just good visually, good cinematography, good sound. Like, I think he's just a solid director, and
for sure.
Yeah,
it was
absolutely.
a good choice for Dune for him.
It'd be rough to see someone else try to helm that vision. I feel like,
honestly,
like he is the guy to go to for that for sure.
Yeah,
so
it was a tough cookie to eat. I mean, it's a huge source material and all that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Trying
a lot
to
of expectation.
Yeah.
Despite the issues I had with it, I don't think I can see anyone else do it.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
Yeah.
And like I don't know who I'd pick either.
Right.
Other than him. So.
Who do you trust? And like for him to take that on, I'm just props to him.
Yeah.
I think he did a pretty good job
for sure.
It, so.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'll move on to mine. My best direction or best director pick was Bo Burnham's Inside.
Yes.
I kind of just wrapped all of what Bo Burnham made into this award for him, I guess, because he did write, direct it, edit it, all of it himself. So the direction is just one part of what he did with it. But just like it was his entire vision. He executed on all fronts of it. And like that just shows that he directed everything like perfectly and the product is fantastic. I'm a Bo Burnham fan, obviously, but like
I am and always will be, I think.
Yeah.
I think he just makes stuff that like I care about and that I can like sympathize
connect with easily. But I just wanted to give him the props for making such a like awesome like project this year, and for like being like the COVID project. I feel like this was the best COVID project I'd seen. It was like the thing that wrapped all of it, all the experience into one thing.
Like the epitome of like quarantine,
right? Quintessential window into this year. I feel like for sure.
Made
so
me a huge fan.
Yeah, right. So
Definitely.
I just wanted to give him the props for that one. That's what I gave it.
That was my first taste of Bo Burnham. So
right.
Same.
Yeah. So definitely
sang the song for months. Still do
Yeah.
sometimes.
Still pop
It's on my
up.
playlist.
Yeah.
all my top songs for this year on Apple Music are his entire album. So,
yeah, that's fair.
But
What'd you guys have?
mine was it was between Bo Burnham, but I landed on John Krasinski.
That's a good pick.
Just because Quiet Place 2, I ate everything up that he did. I think he's super talented.
Nice.
Dude's got something. I mean,
I
honestly, he's got a vision, and it paid off. I mean, I liked it more than the first one, obviously, for other reasons. I thought the pacing was better, and it just had more of that action. Killian, of course, was also
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, no, I just think he's very talented. I mean, every moment of that movie, I was just in my seat, leaning forward, eating it up. So
for sure.
I think he's definitely has an eye.
It's
so.
definitely like a challenge too. I think to like make whatever a duo of films,
right?
And like have one be successful, and then like continue the vision, if not emphasize it more, and like
It's like a perfect part 2 to a story
It is.
of any story.
It is.
So I can see why you'd give him the award because he helmed that entire world,
Right.
honestly. So
and it's something he didn't even want to do to begin with.
Yeah.
You
So
know,
to achieve what he achieved is
Right.
like he definitely deserves that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely a passion project, and you can tell. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, and like you said, Cillian Murphy and Emily Blunt, like,
Oh,
and
yeah.
even the kid actors, like,
It just opened up the world a little more.
Definitely. Yep.
Deepened it. Yeah. What'd you have, Patricia?
Good pick.
I might be biased, but I picked Wes Anderson for The French Dispatch.
That was my
even though I
follow-up.
just watched it last night.
Yeah.
I waffled between
That's a tough
him.
one.
Yeah. He's my favorite director,
Yeah.
and like it was picture perfect to me.
Mhm.
It was just everything was just what I love about movies.
Right.
Made me feel good, everything. Just the music and like the shots
Yeah.
and I don't know,
It's
even the
so-
dialogue was
right.
just like
Yeah.
perfect to me.
Yeah, I think
Totally on point.
Yeah, it's just I can see what like best direction is like we've said before,
Mm-hmm.
or people say like he makes the same movie, but it's because his direction style is like so solid. I
Right.
think, like he's composing
Yeah.
art, So
Basically, yeah.
that's good. That's a good pick.
Yeah. Definitely.
I like that movie. I think is like top of his game. Although some people are saying it's like more the same or whatever. But
Yeah, I don't understand all the. I don't know if it's hate, but like
At least
it was
the controversy. Yeah.
right. I mean, it's
Yeah.
one of his best movies.
right,
but
it's
I don't
that's
know.
why he deserves like the nomination or whatever. Is because
Yeah.
you just simply can't deny.
Yeah.
like the
It's-
talent.
it's right
like,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think he would deserve. I think all these nominations are like better than the Oscars already.
That's what I thought. Yeah, right. Obviously, we know what we're talking about
Right.
Oscars, so
Yeah.
fucking get on it. No.
You just have like I don't know. The other ones are like Oscar ceremonies. It's like kind of what you would expect.
Right.
Or like
Yeah.
it's like whoever paid the most to get their
Right.
name in the
Yeah.
ring.
Right.
Basically,
should be-
like Oscar bait movies, like House
Yeah.
of Gucci,
Right.
like,
Right.
all
Yep.
that
Yeah.
stuff.
And
If that gets
sidebar, that
nominations-
was such a disappointment for me. House
I
of
haven't
Gucci.
seen it yet. Kind of.
Yeah,
don't
I
want
also
to
haven't
now,
seen
though.
it.
Lady Gaga is the only person that deserves a nomination
I agree.
for that movie.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I agree. She
Yes.
definitely does the best.
I could see that one being huge Oscar bait. Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't seen that
Sad.
one yet.
Sad that those would be
sad.
the ones in.
The one with
contending.
Meryl Streep.
There's a shit ton of
Really?
people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is weird because I like everything I've seen of Adam McKay stuff. I've enjoyed for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
But
But I won't get into that.
no. Yeah.
Who will?
All right, should we move on to the next category?
Next category.
Best documentary series or movie?
Yes. Yes.
I guess I'll just kick this one off. I watched this one a few weeks ago. It came out earlier this year, but I watched Val. I think it's hands down easily the best one I watched. It was the most profound documentary I watched. I know who Val Kilmer is. I've seen like some of his movies. We watched Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. He's fucking hilarious in it, obviously. But
Any older generations know him as Batman.
yeah. He's got a lot of. He's Top Gun. I mean, he's got a lot up his
Yeah.
sleeve. But I don't know if you know what's gone on with him recently over the last few years. Like he had like throat cancer.
Yeah.
And he had to go through surgery, and he like has to talk for like plugging a hole in his throat now, and
Yikes.
he's lost like all the charm that he like built his career on. And it's just like him like reconciling like his time right now, like and like looking back and looking forward because his son's in it, and he's like just charting his own path into like being a star or whatever. And
Interesting.
it was really good. I mean, it was like the most connected documentary. Like the people making it were so connected that I look for like authenticity of like interviews and like the story and like the people involved in the story. If you have them on the camera, that makes it more like legitimate or like more justified than like these Netflix ones where it's like some fucking like YouTuber being like, yeah, I read this on the internet and I was like, fucking, like you're actually watching someone tell a story in Val and some other ones, but it really connected with me, and it was heartbreaking to watch, honestly, but really good. So.
I'll save some time. That was mine, but the only documentary I watched from this year was Val.
Oh, really?
Kind of by default.
There you go.
There are some good ones though.
Well, that's
Some good
what
ones this year.
I think. I don't know. I find interesting because like you can vary. I think quality in like documentaries,
Yeah.
and just like whatever story they're trying to tell
Yeah.
or whatever, So if you get a good documentary, it's like you kind of know when it's good.
Yeah,
right?
it connects for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I guess I'll just lead into my best documentary. We've talked about it a little bit before. Offhand, it was the Beatles Get Back.
Nice.
Yeah, directed by Peter Jackson, which I'm a massive like Lord of the Rings fan. So, like I'm already in there. But yeah, it was good. Like it differed from like I think regular documentaries because it was like all like stored footage,
super candid.
Yeah, like very raw on how it shoots. Like it was shot, obviously on older technology and stuff like that. Back in the 60s and 70s. But yeah, it was literally you just get like a peek in on like the process of the Beatles and their how they made their music, how they like when they butted heads, the personalities in the room, like that kind of thing. Because you're just kind of like a fly on the wall.
Yeah, you witness like creations of songs, and like that you never would have been able to see before. It's really cool.
Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, you just get to see their creative process, and they're kind of iconic. Like going around the world and stuff. And everyone knows Ringo and Paul, and like everyone knows those names, and just cool to see them like in their element. And like get it
like takes the shine away from the Beatles. If you were just someone who was like, oh, the Beatles are the best fucking band, like you could still believe that at the end of this, but you really see like the griminess of what they had to do to make a song and stuff like that too.
Sweat of putting out an album, knowing that you're like an up and coming artists and stuff. Yeah. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it, and it is kind of long. Like it's 3 2-hour to 3-hour episodes, but it's like worth. Like I said, you can throw it on and just kind of get sucked into like whatever they're doing at the time, like in the process of doing it.
Yeah, for sure.
And that songs will get stuck in your head, so fair warning. But yeah, that was my pick for documentaries this year.
Nice. I respect Peter Jackson for like diverting so much of his time to like restoring old footage too. Yeah, because I watched They Shall Not Grow Old a while back too, and it was just all World War I footage. Where he just like took the time to like improve it, put some sound under it and stuff like that. And I don't know, it's like a different type of storytelling, but he's just doing what he wants to do. So I respect it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually don't have a pick because I only watched 2 documentaries this year. It was Britney versus Spears and the college admission scandal.
Oh, I watched that one.
And I don't think they deserve to be the best documentary because I thought it was kind of lazy. Yeah. But
the college admissions one, like remembering they have Matthew Modine, I want to say is the actor. He's like the guy who's making all the phone calls and doing all the college shit. And like he's literally in one blue shirt the whole time because I'm pretty sure they filmed all his shit on one day. It's like lazy Netflix stuff, but no, I did watch that one. So.
Same, yeah.
It's just like, I don't know, because we've made a documentary. So I know like how much work it has to, to be done and how much research. And I feel like they just found this person that's like an expert or something. And they just threw them on. And I don't know, I'm just like, you gotta make more if you want.
Squeeze all we can.
A little harder. Yeah, for sure. I feel that with a lot of Netflix documentaries these days.
Netflix stuff, honestly.
Yeah. But pretty good picks there.
Let us know what you guys' like best documentary picks and if you have a best director.
I've been getting a lot more into documentaries recently. It's just
I like documentaries.
They're easy to get sucked into, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. So now they're digestible too, and like docuseries and stuff. Yeah.
All right, well, let's move into the world of TV. How about that?
Television.
Let's go with best TV series this year. This could be like one season that you thought was really good or just overall like your best pick of the best TV show this year. Anyone want to kick it off?
I'll do it. Succession.
Nice.
Succession. I thought it was going to be Ted Lasso because I was like obsessed, but I just watched the final episode like a couple of days ago.
Are we all caught up?
Oh yeah.
Of Ted Lasso?
Of
Succession.
Yeah, okay.
We're all caught up?
Yeah, like my jaw was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
man.
It was just amazing, like production-wise, the music, the acting, the everything. Yeah. It's just, I can't believe like we're alive in this age to watch Succession.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's super compelling, that show. That's one that can really suck you in. Yeah, and I think definitely. The characters are really the highlight for me of that show.
Yeah, and like your evolution, for me, like my evolution of like my opinion of these characters has somewhat shifted, all the way throughout.
Right.
Or like for me, by the end of this 3rd season, you're like cheering for like Tom and Greg, and like, and you're kind of feeling for Kendall, but then I don't know.
They kind of see all sides.
Yeah.
Exactly. You kind of find ways, and you're endeared to all of everyone for different reasons. Kind of.
Right.
The first episode, when me and Sarah, we watched it in 3 days. All of them.
Wow.
And well, I guess minus season 3, we watched in like 2 days because we were halfway through or whatever. But anyway, first episode we watched it, I was like, listen, Sarah, this is what's gonna happen. Greg, they're sleeping on him. He's gonna slip his way all the way to the top.
Dude,
and
better end
by
up
the end of
top.
season 3, he's Who needs a soul?
He's gonna win. He's gonna win his suit against Greenpeace, and he's gonna be at the top at Waystar.
And like, I think my catchphrase recently is inspired by Succession. It's "fuck off." I've been saying that constantly.
That is used so much in that show.
Dude, how many times has Logan Roy been like, "All right, go on, fuck off."
Fuck off.
He visit his office. All right, fuck off.
And everyone's just like, okay.
I hear it in his weird accent in his voice.
Right. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
And like the characters are so unapologetically awful.
Yeah.
You still root for them,
Right.
even though they're like assholes.
It's like that show is like the train wreck. You can't
Right.
look away.
Right.
You know, like you
And
have to watch.
you're like the
these.
fly on the wall in that
Yeah.
show too, where it's like
Definitely.
you're hearing conversations of rich people that you've never heard
Right.
before. And
the shittiest
what
like
they're talking
conversations
about.
they could have. Yeah.
It's like even the pure people. They're slowly they'll end up in the dumpster.
withered
Right.
down.
Fucking
That's like
hang in there, Greg.
yeah, right. Like Greg's just been like assimilated, and now he's just like fully in it. You know,
Right.
like and he's gonna be a duke of Germany or whatever it was.
Probably. Oh my god. He deserves it.
He does.
He's
I
the
love
best.
him. I love Greg.
That's a good pick though.
Yeah,
That's-
good.
Definitely.
That show is like on fire right now.
Yeah,
People are
it
eating that
is.
shit up.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a good one.
Well, you said it, but I'm gonna go with Ted Lasso. It was a tough pick between this and a different one, but I discovered Ted Lasso this year also, and watched season 2 while it was airing. But holy fuck, that show like was a wave of like, it like cured half of my depression almost. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just so good. Like the world, the characters, the writing of it, the comedy, it's perfect. It just makes you feel so good. Like
Right.
I could go. I mean, I think we've talked about Ted Lasso a lot. Like I could go into it deeper, but I feel like I should just chill and just. Everyone knows if you've seen Ted Lasso how great it is.
Right.
That's
Oh, yeah.
And
Definitely.
turn other people on to
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like it is definitely like a light of sunshine on the
Seriously.
television scene.
You can't fall in love with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Right.
cannot not fall in love.
Yeah.
with it.
Exactly.
You have to be a soulless motherfucker. To, no.
Ted Lasso works his magic on you.
Yes.
And that's what the show's about too.
True.
So it's just perfect.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I really love that show.
Good choice. Good choice. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
Mine was a limited series. It was Midnight Mass. It was between this and Succession, but yeah, Midnight Mass. I didn't know what I was getting into going into it. I saw the title Midnight Mass and I saw the picture and I was like, this looks a little culty. I can get behind this, but then everything that happens in that show, the long like 5-minute long dialogue scenes, that's right up my alley. And it's just the direction and everything. I was like, the dialogue scenes, they were 5 minutes long and a lot of complaints about, oh, can I just hear one more dialogue scene by Mike Flanagan? Like, shut up.
Are they compelling? Like, do they?
Oh yeah, because it's talking about like stuff that you think about and you just don't. No one wants to see that in a movie. They want to see the CGI action fest and all that bullshit. But like, come on, fuck off, fuck off.
Fuck off.
But yeah, it's great. I mean, they're talking about life, death, and then like religion and all this stuff. That how it's basically. I mean, I won't get into it. You guys should watch it. I don't know if any of you have seen it,
No,
but
I
yeah,
have not.
I've
I
heard
would
good things about it. Yeah,
definitely
like
recommend it.
constantly.
I mean, it's great. I
Nice.
love it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
But-
Your description of it, I don't know. I think if you're like, talking about beliefs or like having serious conversations of like how to live or as a human and like believe in stuff.
Right.
I'm always down for those 5-minute dialogues on what someone has to say on it,
And it's
So-
a great take. It's a different take on Christianity and all that stuff and the Catholic Church, and it's a completely different take than what you would expect.
Okay.
But yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
good.
That's good. Yeah, my pick. This one was tough because I was like waffling between
Right.
Succession and Ted Lasso and all those. So but I thought it was like I had to give it props. It was WandaVision.
Yes.
It's just like
I feel ya.
it's like one of the better things MCU has done. I think one of the more
Yeah.
clever things and like
Yeah.
just like heartfelt, compelling. And
There's
I don't know.
there's a few things that like the MCU makes that you can tell that they have like care and
Right.
love
Right.
behind.
Right.
That was 100% one of them, I think.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
show.
I would agree. And
It was so original and like
Mhm.
just that they poured their heart and soul into this show.
right.
They're paying tribute to all the other forms. Like
Yeah.
they're emulating, and it's like nailing the tones of all those things.
Yeah, it's like a love letter to
Yeah.
television and the history of it. At the same time,
Right.
it's
Its
about an
own-
MCU
Right.
witch and android. So
Yeah.
like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's fun and it was cool the way they did it, and it did enough to expand if you're into the MCU and stuff like that. It did enough
For
that
sure.
end, and I thought the one off season. That's all we needed. It was good enough as is.
That came out really early this year too, and it kicked because there was nothing coming out 2020, and that show was one of the things this year that kicked my my love for media again. I watched those first 2 episodes so many times when it came out because it was comfort TV. It was great.
The I Love Lucy feel of it, and all those old filming techniques coming back and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. It was cool. Yeah. But
for sure.
What have you guys been watching though? What's what's your best?
Yeah, what was the best one this year?
Show this year.
Yeah. Any other honorable mentions for TV? Do you guys have? Or?
I'm trying to think. I mean, Succession is definitely my honorable mention.
I watched The Shrink Next Door recently. Actually,
that's on my list to watch.
It's worth a watch. It's probably not what you're expecting. It's them not doing comedy at all, Paul Rudd or Will Ferrell. It's like a serious story, but well done. And I knew the story beforehand. So
did Mythic Quest? Did that second season come out this year?
I forgot about that show actually. Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember if it came out this year or if it was last year that the second season came out. But that's definitely up there for me.
That is a great show.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was a tough category for me to pick.
For sure.
Of course.
So, I mean, I've probably watched so many televisions. So even while I was coming up with these choices, I'm sure I just glazed over something, a show or two. And
I totally slept on Mythic Quest. I forgot that I watched that. That show was hilarious.
I know, For All Mankind, and I don't know, there's a couple shows in my top 10 that I could easily mention, but I'll just wait till we
we'll move. Let's move on to best animated show or movie.
Man, this one was tough for me. I don't know.
This one was kind of easier for me. I'll start it off. Just resonated. This movie was made for me. The Mitchells versus the Machines. It actually wasn't made for me because it seems like it's made for 5-year-olds. But but just the content and the message behind it. Obviously, if we're all filmmakers, we're all gonna. I was tearing up. I don't know. It was super heartfelt at the times it needed to, and the comedy was way ahead. Yeah. It's Phil Lord and Chris Miller, and for the most part, I feel like I can just trust them to make something that's elevated, and especially comedies 21 Jump Street and the Lego Movie. And this was this was another example of that. Just executed on an animated movie way more than I needed it to, and just super heartfelt. Really loved it.
Yeah, took you by surprise, maybe. A little bit.
I really did. Yeah, didn't expect much out of it. So
that's actually my pick.
Really?
Yeah. When you told me about that it was about this filmmaker, I was like, let me go watch it, and then I was I asked my brother if he wanted to watch it with me, and apparently he already watched it. He was like, "You're gonna cry a lot," and I did, and I was crafting. I was basically crying and laughing at the same time.
Right?
Yeah. It was just so
many good moments.
Yeah.
It's definitely heartfelt. Yeah.
I also watched it the day after you recommended it.
Really? Yeah. My niece recommended it to me. They were about it, so I was like, oh, maybe there's something here, and then I checked it out, and I was like, wow, this is way better than that.
My niece got a good ass taste.
Yeah, they're watching something good. All right,
cool. That's good.
Well, that was your pick though, Patricia? Yeah.
Cool. This one, I don't know. This one was hard for me, but I don't know. I'm I love animated stuff. I'll always be a defender of it, I feel like. But I think I ended on Star Wars Visions.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because there's so much variety in it.
Yeah.
And it's all a pretty compelling and cool universe, I
watched half of them, I want to say. Yeah. And it was some Star Wars stuff that I had never seen before.
Yeah. If anything, it's that, right?
For sure.
And then the different animation styles and studios that were involved in making it and kind of making Star Wars their own thing.
Yeah.
That was cool. And you see I don't know, there's probably 4 episodes that I was just kind of blown away by. The Ninth Jedi, the Duel, the first one that's black and white.
That first one was awesome.
Yeah. And then there's another one, The Elder. Oh, super good. It's just a Jedi master and his Padawan, and they stumble upon a giant Sith elder, and it's a duel, and I don't know, it was just fun, and cool, and
definitely unique for the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
What was your second pick?
Castlevania.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. If I had to honorable mention it, just because this latest season is you might not even be I think the style of it might turn people off, the animation style, and the story is it's fine, it's good, it's good enough. But by that last season, the end is just
bonkers.
I think that's why I love animation so much, is because it's at times it can be so tangible and clear, and other times it can just delve into total abstract
for
like,
sure.
stuff that you can interpret. So
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what Castlevania did for me by the end of it.
I was just curious. Yeah.
This was a difficult category for me, not because I watch a lot of animated stuff, but because it's hard for me to, I guess, I don't know if relate's a good word, but I don't know, something about animation.
Enjoy?
Not a huge fan.
No, yeah.
Really?
But, yeah.
Did you watch a lot of cartoons as a kid? I'm just kidding. I'm running a study. So.
Yeah, no, I mean, I watched SpongeBob. I watched, like, Fairly Odd Parents, I guess.
Yeah.
But
you never really, like, was about it, though? Or what?
No, I mean, SpongeBob. That shit cracks me up still. I mean...
I just have a theory that, like, I can, like, cry at kids' movies super easily. And I think it's because it, like, takes me back to, like, as a kid. Because when all I was watching was animated shit, and that's, like, how I learned.
Right.
Or, like, cared.
And like, don't get me wrong. There are, like, Toy Story 3.
Right.
God damn. That hits. But,
you know, I watched The Iron Giant the other day. Still.
There's good ones in there. It's just, I don't know.
Would you watch this year, though? What was the one? What was the one that climbed the peak?
So I wish I would have finished Arcane before this day.
I just started it, but yeah.
The art style in Arcane is... That's my favorite animation
dope.
art style. It's
just
fantastic.
Finished that recently, and
I'm only 3 episodes in, and I need to finish it. But I landed on Invincible.
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. Yeah,
that was a good pick.
I just thought. So I was watching the first episode, and about 3/4 of the way through, I was like, okay, this needs to get somewhere. I'm done. I almost turned it off.
Yeah.
And then it happened, and I was like, this is what I came for right here, and now I need to know. But I thought it was, just an interesting, different take on an alien invasion, the superheroes that you look up to, and
the classic Justice League turned on its head.
It was a lot of fun. I love blood and gore, so like that was my shit.
The Boys,
Saturday morning,
and the animated
style.
Justice cartoon, like a baby,
So that's what I landed on for animated. But I think if I finished Arcane might have squeaked ahead.
Really?
Not because all through college League was like heroin, but worse,
So
so
withdrawals watching Arcane.
And no, I honestly, great marketing technique, because after I watched those 3 episodes, I texted my friends. I was like, "Hey guys, let's play some League," and they were like, "Yeah, we're watching Arcane." I was like, "Yeah." Friends who swore off like MOBAs in college, I got on and they're playing, and I'm like, "Yeah, I see you guys." So but
I need to get through it. I've heard really good things. So.
Yeah, same.
No, I struggle with that because I just recently watched it. And I don't know. I have like no background knowledge of
and you
League
don't for the show.
Well, that's what I was like. I was like so surprised by it and the style of it, because it is very pretty. Like it is. Like it's gritty, but it's it's like it's weird. It's gritty and it's clean and it's all But I watched it and I was just like blown away, because I was like, holy fuck, I enjoyed every second.
You can tell they put a lot of love. I mean, it's been in production for like 6 years, so it's like
I heard that,
a lot of love put into it. And I mean, honestly, their game is beautiful too. I mean, that's one thing about the game. Like, Sarah hates video games and all this stuff, but she walks by and sees me playing League, and she's like, that's a pretty game. I'm like, it is. It's a beautiful game, and the show's just the same. So
that's what I learned, that there's like over 100 characters.
Yeah.
And like we just got a piece of that in
just
the
a
show.
Chunk.
Yeah,
and those are the best. I mean, I haven't seen all of them, but I'm hoping Warwick squeezes in there because he's part of Zahn. But
we'll see. That's
so they cross over a lot of characters from the game. Then,
yeah. Well, it's
because like Vi and Vander and like
Vi, Caitlyn, Vander's in there. We got Jace and there's Heimerdinger.
That's right. Yeah.
Heimerdinger. Yeah.
He's actually my favorite champ. So,
really?
Nice.
Seeing him
I was like, the first time I saw Heimerdinger, I was like, is that furry Yoda?
Yeah. Just a little yordle. But
cool.
Invincible is what I landed on, even though I'm hyping up Arcane right now. Invincible was what I landed on. That's my pick.
That's a good one though. That one's
sealed in.
That came out kind of early this year too.
It did, yeah.
That was huge though when
it was.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, it's big. Yeah.
Hype for the second season's pretty real too.
Yeah, I'm anticipating it. Yeah, for sure.
All right, should we move to performances?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Actors and actresses. Let's just start with best male performance. This was a tough call for me, and I kind of think I landed on a personal choice more than. I think he did really good. So I picked Lee Jung-jae from Squid Game. He's the protagonist. He's the main guy. I fucking love Squid Game, but we can talk about that later. But he just really captured me. Like he like brought the audience in super easily in the first episode with like his relatability.
Yeah.
And then just like the trials, like the things he was going through the whole game. Like I was just totally on his side from like get go, and like I never knew about this actor. I really like latched onto his style. I'm super glad I watched it in Korean, or else it would be super cheesy and like none of his acting would have come through,
right?
Because it's all like in the tone and the inflection.
Yeah.
But it was between him and Benicio del Toro. I figured he's got enough awards or whatever. I'm gonna give it to this guy. So that's my pick.
That's a good pick. I'm with you there. He like you said, you're with him the whole time pretty much.
Yeah.
As soon as you're given that little piece of his daughter and stuff like that.
Yeah, and just his like gambling addiction.
Yeah,
like it's like I know this guy's kind of shitty, but like I totally get him.
The financially struggling father who wants nothing but the best.
Reckless still, like just, yeah.
But and then going through all that. Yeah. That crazy shit.
By the end of that show, when he's like with Sang-woo at the end of that final fight, like the emotion that's coming out of him, like he took the journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was with it. So
built up good.
Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. What do you guys have?
I had. Okay, this is so weird because I thought I didn't like him as an actor before, but I actually picked Andrew Garfield.
Ayo.
Tick, tick, boom. Yeah. I don't know why. I was like, I don't know why they picked him. Blah, blah. But because I'm a huge fan of Rent and like Jonathan Larson, just the way he performed it, and like I keep rewatching the movie because I'm like every single time I find something new that he does, and I'm like, holy shit, man, how did you do that?
That's fun. That's a good pick.
That's funny. Like every review I've read about it, like good or bad, even the bad ones be like, yeah, but Garfield was good in it. Like, like he killed it. So I was like, all right, no, that's a good pick. Yeah.
I kind of have a comment because we started this podcast with Under the Silver Lake.
Yes, sir.
And I was kind of shitting on Andrew Garfield, and then I was like, I don't know if I really like this guy. And by the end of this year now, I'm like total flip. Like I'm totally on board. Tick, tick, boom, and then spoilers later we'll talk. But like he just fucking killed it. Like the last things I saw, and like I just get it now, kind of more.
He is fantastic, and I am so glad that I watched Tick, Tick, Boom recently, and I love Andrew Garfield. I've always been a fan of Andrew Garfield. His Spider-Man's my second favorite Spider-Man. So I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I think Andrew Garfield is fantastic.
Yeah. He did have a lot of good roles too.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the year.
Yeah. Good pick.
Yeah. Good pick.
You guys can judge me all you want. The internet can flay me, but I chose Nicolas Cage from Pig.
Interesting choice.
Yeah.
I flopped between him and the guy I'm going to pick, but
really?
He's my second choice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Pig. Yeah. Another movie this year that I watched that I was like, I expected something going in, the revenge flick, the John Wick formula. This guy on a path to get what he wants or whatever he wants to get back, the truffle pig. And he just I don't know. I've seen it's like I'm saying, like Nicolas Cage's career is very much a roller coaster, but this one, along with like Alex Wolff, part of me wants to nod to Alex Wolff because I think he was very good in support.
Definitely, for sure.
Definitely.
He picked the right character, I think, to play.
Yeah, and then just like the solemnness and like the sincerity, and by the end of Pig, you're just like, I just had to take my hat off because I was like, man, that was good. I'm glad I stuck around the whole way. Like
the thing I acknowledged about Nick Cage's performance specifically in that movie is just like his presence. Right. Like he doesn't he has a lot of presence in most movies, but for this one, it's a lot of silence and a lot he comes
stoicism
out when it comes out. But for some reason, I just felt connected more with it than most other times he tries to do that. Because I watched Willy's Wonderland and I did not like that movie that much.
No. It's not a great movie.
Yeah, it's and they're kind of similar movies a little bit here, but not really, but kind of.
Yeah,
the performances are a little similar, and just this one, he was nailing it for sure.
Definitely. Yeah. He ate up every scene, that he was in. But he was my second pick. Cool. I couldn't decide whether or not because I'm not a huge Nicolas Cage fan. I've watched, what was the other one? Mandy. Recently. It was okay. I watched Pig, very good. Nicolas Cage, very good in it. And then I watched Face Off recently too, and completely different roles. And
it's like the span of his career.
Sometimes you get Nicolas Cage movies that are Nicolas Cage movies, but sometimes you get good or badass Nicolas Cage movies. And Face Off was a badass one. This one was a great one. But anyway,
anyone who casts him is really, I feel like just flipping a coin or rolling some dice.
Which Cage am I getting?
Yeah, exactly.
But I landed on. And this shocked me. Tom Holland. I thought he killed it
Spider-Man.
for the first time in all of the MCU that he's been in. This was his peak for him.
Really?
100%.
I feel you on that. Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was something else.
He was. There was so much emotion in him in this movie that it was. Yeah,
I think it helped that it took the darker turns that it took to get him to those points.
Push him there,
right?
for sure.
And I thought it paid off wonderfully, and it shocked me because. Everyone knows how I feel about the MCU, but Spider-Man has a place in my heart, and now Tom Holland, you belong there too, buddy.
Wow,
that's great.
You open
I'm
the door.
excited to see it tomorrow.
It's worth it. I'm going to see it again.
We're going to see it again.
Yeah.
That's good. But yeah, I know what you mean because like I wasn't like even fully like I liked Tom Holland. You know, it seemed like he was casted well for it, but I didn't think his performances in like the first and second, Homecoming and stuff like that, they weren't like crazy special. He didn't blow me away.
Right.
And this one, he definitely like pulls out all stops.
Yeah,
and,
definitely
like, delivers. So, yeah.
I could see that nomination though. Yeah. He kind of deserves it for the work he's put in now.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And I mean, to be honest, for that movie, he had a lot to stand up to. So I mean,
That's true.
For sure, he held his own.
If there's one thing a Spider-Man does, it's get his ass kicked and try and come out on top.
All right, should we move on to best female performance?
Yes.
Sure.
I'll just kick this one off again. Stay in the MCU. I picked Elizabeth Olsen for WandaVision.
That's good.
I was like teetering between a few people. Rebecca Ferguson for Dune, just because she was crying the whole movie. I was like, man, you deserve an award or something. But Elizabeth Olsen, I feel like she just captured. She's got all the chops. You know what I'm saying? And like for WandaVision, she had so much to do. Like trying to capture these different like tones and different like literally different types of acting. Yeah. So that just shows like the range and shows like the skill level that she had to put into that role. I think she just carries a lot of like the gravitas, like she has the emotion that she can get to while still having the like literally like slapstick moments that she had in that show. Yeah. And she just paid tribute to the entire like realm of television with that role too. So I just think she just like nailed it.
Yeah, good pick.
That was my pick too.
Really? We're on the same line.
I was debating between her and Hannah Waddingham. From Ted Lasso.
Nice.
Yeah. But I was like, that's Elizabeth Olsen. I don't know. She's been having a great year. But like you said, she had a lot to do. She had to like between each episode had to do a different genre of TV and different kind of acting style
and still hold like Wanda
right all under the guise of like the internal conflict
all
of
her
Wanda.
all her hurt and like her grief with Vision's death and all that stuff.
Yeah, and if anything, I think her passion, like she seems like she's just a passionate person, and like, definitely comes out and like the love for TV, and it's good.
Nice. I'm glad we're on the same level here.
Thanks. All right.
What'd you guys have?
I am flopping. I can't decide. But I think I'm going to land on because she changed my mind about this person is Margot Robbie playing Harley Quinn. I thought this was her best rendition just because I hate Birds of Prey. I do not like the old Suicide Squad. I thought she wasn't very good as Harley Quinn in either of those, but this one changed my mind. And maybe it's thanks to James Gunn, but also I feel like, she killed it for this. Honorable mention would be Emily Blunt for me, but not for Jungle Cruise. Not for that.
Really?
I don't think anyone does.
But for Quiet Place. But yeah, Margot Robbie. She changed my mind about my opinion about Harley Quinn. So
I wonder if it is James Gunn that kind of gave her the
it just
push
felt like,
or the direction that she needed.
Yeah,
or something.
like she didn't feel as unhinged as like it wasn't like he didn't come in and say, "All right, go all the way, like turn it up to 11." No, she went in and she knew when to turn it up and when to right.
Yeah, 100%.
So it was good. I
Probably
think
help from his direction because she definitely
she can act.
Yeah, she has the chops to act, right?
And she definitely was able to shine in the
right, definitely.
So. Good pick.
Nice.
My pick was Thomasin McKenzie from last night. So.
Oh, nice. Not from old.
She was really trying there.
Yeah. She did a thing.
Almost two different people there.
Yeah. No, but and I partly because I think it's just Edgar Wright's vision, but also like she carried the solo performance of this like kind of neurotic thing happening and the passion behind like a student, a fashion student wanting to be good. But yeah, for me, she just she nailed all points, all the tension, all the sweat and fear all came through very well.
You can tell there's like a lot going on in her head when she
Yeah.
acts, I feel like,
Right.
Good picks, yeah. Man, we should just run the Oscars, guys. 'Cause literally, these are like really good nominations overall, and it'd be hard to pick the best out of them with the reasonings we gave. You know.
Yeah.
All right, that's all the categories. Let's move on to the top 10.
To the big
whoa.
Do we want to do the?
Should we start low?
Yeah, let's go. Let's start at the bottom and move the way up. First off, I just want to make a disclaimer. You guys can shout out the ones. I have not seen a few movies this year. Notably The Kingsman, Nightmare Alley, The Last Duel, and Licorice Pizza. Those are like the few that I think could potentially get onto my list, even though maybe they won't. I don't. The Kingsman, I'm very unsure of, but I'm giving it it's a little bit of credit that I want.
A little speculatory, but same, because like I know if I would have seen Westwood or West Side Story,
potentially
there's a very potential good chance that it would have made my list. But that one, Don't Look Up, Come On, I haven't seen. And then The Hand of God. I don't know if you guys have seen anything on that one, but all ones I want to see. But
the Kirsten, what's her name?
Power of the Dog one.
Kirsten Dunst.
No, the other one, Twilight.
Stuart?
Spencer.
Oh, Spencer.
I did not see that one either.
I want to watch that.
I do want to see that one too. Yeah.
So there are a few gaps here. I mean, with everyone's watch list, there's probably a few gaps or whatever.
It keeps getting wider. There's so much stuff coming out.
But other than that, let's start at the bottom. All right. Do we got we want to go through each of our bottom threes, or should we do one at a time?
Do you want to go 3, 2, 1, and like one being the worst, or do you want to go worst to?
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
Worst to least worst.
So the worst one is number 1.
Okay, worst one's number 1. So we'll start at number 3.
Start at number 3.
All right.
Who wants to start it?
I'll start us. I've been waiting all year for this shit. My number 3 is Without Remorse.
Okay.
Did not like this movie at all. I don't know if, in terms of getting it started, I thought it was one of the stupidest ways to get a revenge flick started, and I thought that Michael B. Jordan, I thought he was not good in the movie. The story was bad. The action was boring as shit. I don't know. Just not a huge fan of this movie. It just made me angry by the end of it. So
just flat.
Yeah,
I guess.
it was. It's like the one. It was between this at number 3 and Kate, because Kate was like an action movie that was probably one of the most boring movies I watched this year.
It was an action movie.
Yeah,
it was that.
Yes,
there was action.
I don't really remember a lot of it.
That's the thing. Is I'm forgetting it as I'm watching it. That's how I felt with Without Remorse. I can remember the end and sort of. I don't know. Anyway, it's
what
just
happened?
I just know it made me angry at the time, and I still am angry about it. Like every time I see it on my list, I'm like, yeah, that one.
I did that.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, because I like Michael B. Jordan.
Right. He can be good.
Same,
he can do good
So
stuff.
hot.
Right.
Yeah. He's a good looking dude. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Number 3, Without Remorse.
I'll start with mine next. My number 3, I guess, is Jungle Cruise. What a lifeless watch of a movie I had in this. I watched this in the theater, and it did not make it better. It might have made it worse. I don't. I feel like I bitched about this a lot. I don't need to go into
You're
this.
not down with the
more.
Rock Mania, dude. Guys and
No,
everything.
this one.
The more I think about The Rock, he just plays the same character every time. And he's playing a little bit of a different character here. He's trying to do the Jungle Cruise shtick jokes or whatever. Terrible CGI, terrible like framing of shots. Like it was just everything in this movie was bad. The writing, nothing was it Jesse Plemons wanted him to elevate it, didn't elevate it even just because the writing was so bad. Plot, story, tried to be Pirates of the Caribbean,
for no reason.
Unnecessarily long.
No reason.
and the fact that was it $30 that they tried to charge.
I paid $30 for it.
The fact that they even tried that shit with such a shitty movie, it deserves to be in the bottom in my opinion. But
I paid $30 for it and watched it on my damn phone.
what a terrible experience that probably was.
Fuck me.
Oh my gosh.
But it could have been lower. Although I feel like there's some kids that like when they watch this movie, something opened up in them, or maybe
I don't know.
Maybe
just go watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right.
Like,
watch a better
honestly.
one. Watch a better movie. But that's mine.
Before we get in for that's my number 2, so I won't talk about it. I just want to say I paid $30 for it. Fuck you, Disney.
Dude, seriously.
But yeah,
seriously.
number 2 for me for it was Jungle Cruise.
Understandable. Yeah, Patricia.
Well, my number 3 is Candyman.
Okay.
I just didn't get it, man. It was disgusting. I hate when it's just like personal, but like the little holes, like what, and then it was on his face. And I just I had to like look away.
There's like a legit phobia.
Yeah,
around that,
it's not a phobia for me because I'm probably I didn't throw up or anything, but I was just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like I thought it was horror, but it wasn't scary, but it was kind of dumb. But also, I feel like I don't know, they were just trying too much of everything, but not enough.
But not
I just
enough
don't get the movie.
It's just a bit of a mess for it.
Yeah.
I do have a lot to say about this because it is my number one for worst.
Well,
but I'm gonna hold back because I do want to talk about this one.
Okay.
Let's save the explosion.
But also fuck Jungle Cruise. I just don't want that to. Yeah. Anyway.
There's nothing that needs to be said about Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise is its thing, but I do have stuff to say about Candyman, and I've been waiting a long time for this.
Well, it sounds like it deserves to be in the bottom. What would you have for number 3, Noah?
My number 3 was Old.
Good choice.
Old.
Good choice.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Shyamalan, but I don't know that it was like a cool concept, and it literally just like went kind of nowhere. Like, I mean, it literally didn't go anywhere. They sat on a beach and got old, and a lot of things like didn't matter, and I don't know. Again, just felt like a little bit of a mess, and then like the B story coming in as like whatever the twist. So it was just like
that's fair.
A little unnecessary. For me.
Old's a little just more like mid tier of this year for me.
Yeah,
it's not so bad that it would be pushed to this shit, but I understand.
What's the thing is like I don't think I will like forget this movie because I think that it's a cool concept. Like conceptually, it's like a cool idea. Someone's like aging exponentially faster, but just not well executed. I think
for sure.
You know.
All right, number 2. Moving on.
Yeah,
you said Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise.
Yep, understandable.
Should I
stole my money and slapped me in the face with it.
Number 2, going back to the MCU with the Eternals.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'll almost second that shit.
Yeah. Again, just like super. If like the one word that comes to mind is like unnecessary, because it really is like it's unnecessary to the MCU, and like we don't. Like these characters are, I don't think they're gonna matter anymore, but you know,
we'll see.
We'll
no
see.
one really.
Maybe Kit Harington's character.
For Blade.
That's about it.
But end of the day, I was like presented with a lot, but like I didn't leave with anything, you know. So I just felt like it wasn't a full exchange of goods. Like I paid for this.
I felt
thing
robbed when I left.
Yeah, I wasn't delivered on.
I checked my pockets. I was like, what the fuck?
I got frisked.
I know we talked about this, but I don't know if we mentioned this. And I was talking to my friend about this. That weird sex scene that was just kind of tossed in there. Did that jar anybody? Just because like nothing against sex scenes, but like
it was out of place.
Like I don't know. It just didn't feel like. For one, didn't feel like an MCU movie, and also it didn't belong here. Like, they love each other. You don't have to show them fucking on the dirt. I don't know. Sorry, I just want. We didn't mention it during our review, so I thought I'd throw that in there.
It's been eating away at you. I understand.
Yeah.
It just like went in all different directions, and was pretty long, and nothing culminated into something that I felt. So
that's fair. For sure, what did you have for 2?
My number 2 was Dear Evan Hansen.
Ooh, yeah.
I love musicals, and I don't know why they thought this would be a good movie when the plot was already kind of problematic.
Yeah.
But like the music is, amazing. But
really? It's
actually good.
It's actually really good. But then they took out 2 of the best songs from the musical, and it wasn't in the movie. And then they cast Ben Platt as Evan Hansen, who looks like
he's like 30 or
he looks like he was having an allergy reaction.
He's got puffy face.
Yeah, and like he was paired with oh god, I forgot her name, Caitlin
Deaver.
Yeah, like from Booksmart. She was good, but then just the whole thing, they were paired together, it didn't feel natural or authentic. It was just awful. I don't know. It's just because it was a hit in the stage.
Was it Broadway or was it just like
it was Broadway.
Really?
It won the Tony Award.
Wow.
But
that's kind of crazy that it like fell so far from grace with that movie. But
it was just really, I don't know. They thought they did something, but they didn't. But that's my number 2.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard nothing but like trash from that movie. So
yeah, I was gonna say public opinion I've heard is the same. Like, very disappointed.
Yeah, it didn't help that I watched it with like a bunch of theater kids, and they would not shut the hell up.
Were they like singing along or something?
Yeah, they were, and they were like laughing when Ben Platt was crying. Like, I understand, but like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, right.
But I was just like, damn,
Yikes.
so bad.
Dang.
Sounds like a bad experience.
Yeah.
My number 2, this probably shocks not very many people. It's Space Jam: A New Legacy.
I refuse to watch it. So.
I'm honestly surprised I put it on.
Yeah,
I kind of just felt like I needed to know, but like you already know.
You had to walk through that fire, huh?
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, if you watch the old Space Jam, that movie's not good.
It's not great.
It's not good.
Not at all.
But imagine LeBron James like trying to act. Michael Jordan, you actually like to watch, but LeBron, you're just like, what the fuck? Why? At least for me. But then like he's got like he's acting against his children, which are actors. So it's like he's a terrible actor with a fake child. Everything is CGI around you.
Yeah.
They're playing a fucking basketball game that they literally make up the points at the end, so there's no stakes in the actual game. Because if he dunks the ball, he's gonna get 31 points to win the game. It's not 30 points. He fucking got the best. It's like style points or whatever. It just nothing matters.
That's a shame.
Terrible. It's a cash grab.
This was like, I think the first one like kind of caught lightning in a bottle, you know?
Yeah,
like, you got MJ with Looney Tunes, with Bill Murray, and some other people, and you got something kind of cool out of it.
Yeah, it's iconic for a reason, and then they remade it.
This one just feels soulless a little bit.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Don't remember half of it. You guys don't need to see it.
I haven't seen the original, and I probably won't watch either of them. Yeah, no, I haven't seen the original.
The first one is worth a watch, I would say.
You would have enjoyed it if you watched it in the 90s.
I'm sure. Yeah,
it's very
That's
much
the one with the Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah.
They're in this new one.
Squad.
Oh,
Kind of.
yeah.
They barely play a role in the new one.
Which is a shame because like in the old one,
they're everything.
it was like all about the tunes. And
Yeah.
it was just cool that we had Michael Jordan there too. You know, like,
The biggest star in the world.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
But yep, terrible. Moving on. Down to the final picks. Yeah.
Worst
Number one.
of 2021.
The worst ones.
in our humble opinions.
I'm gonna kick mine off first because I have a suspicion that maybe someone else has it, but I don't know. Army of the Dead.
Fuck that movie.
Is it serious? No.
Right here, yeah, same here.
Dude, I don't know what to say about this movie. I realized this year Zack Snyder is not my filmmaker.
No, sir.
I'm sure that some people will be like, "Oh, you just don't fucking get him." I watched the Justice League recut. Did not do anything for me. It added a cool like couple sequences. Did not change the quality of that story whatsoever. To
Made
me.
it worse.
It made it like okay in its own way, but it's a terrible pace. His style is terrible. It doesn't create good films, in my opinion.
It's like
I agree.
It's like trying to wash coal. I feel like you already have a kind of shitty product, and then well, let's give it to someone who I guess kind of knows what they're doing.
Who just wants to shave the piece of coal down, so you watch every grain fall in slow motion,
Yeah,
for 4
Very
hours.
slow motion.
which is funny. I know there's probably a few Snyder heads, whatever people who are fans of his style, but it really does feel like it's like morphing into Michael Bay of like style.
Yes, well, because Army of the Dead proved to me after I watched, and I was like mind blown that some people were like enjoying the Snyder cut or whatever. It just proved to me that he's not a good filmmaker.
Yeah.
Because he's like doing some weird fucking dream lenses, just pulling focus for no fucking... It's like he doesn't understand why he's using the camera.
Yeah.
He's just doing weird shit because it's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And he can.
And the story is terrible. He sets up things that like don't get paid off.
Nope.
And like none of the characters are smart. The plot and pacing of the characters' decisions is terrible. It's just a terrible movie. I'm with you
there because like there's really like I don't know most motivations of any of the characters in Army of the Dead like just like have no weight. Like by the end of the movie, you're just like, why did we?
The logic goes out the window when they're like, the real mission was to come get the Queen zombie head. It's like, dude, you walked right in the front gate and she was there.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you going into the middle of town?
Yeah, why are you going to a casino and trying to break into a vault
because
for
it's
money?
because it's a cool script. And Zack Snyder was like, how do I get some zombies and some fucking heist
What's the most
shit?
badass thing I can do? A heist movie in a zombie apocalypse with a nuclear warhead on the way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, shit.
Like, Jesus, dude, just
We
take
get
it
it.
easy.
Yeah, that is a lot of energy. Like, but
And the opening sequence or whatever, wow, really cool. It's mimicking Zombieland style.
Yeah.
It's like Zack Snyder doing his classic opening sequence where there's crazy good like visuals or whatever, but that's about where any quality ended for that movie for me at all. If there was even quality there, it ended right there for me.
And somehow he was able to pick up an Army of Thieves, like, you know, like another IP to
can't
work
believe
with.
I refused to watch that one just
Same,
because I
yeah.
hated Army of the Dead. I hated the Snyder cut.
Yeah,
Zack
same.
Snyder really did a bad job this year.
For sure.
I just, by the end of Army of the Dead, at least for me, I think it was the conversation between him and his daughter is what really set me off. Because I'm like,
On that
this
rooftop
whole-
or whatever.
no, when the helicopter crashes and
yeah.
And then the one character just disappears.
right.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that, he's bitten. So it's like, it doesn't even fucking matter that the one guy comes back and leaves. It's just nothing matters. Nothing pays off. Everything that was set up, it's just fucked in the
There's
movie.
no consequences.
Fuck that movie. It just, one of the ones that made me angry. I'm surprised it didn't actually land lower, but yeah, these other three just edged ahead.
Got something.
I think what pains me more about this one too is like I know people probably like loved it.
Yeah.
You know, so
Just, I mean,
it sucks.
there's brainless movies where you can turn off and just have a hell of a time.
Yeah.
And this is a brainless movie that I don't know. It wasn't even fun. It
No.
just
That's what I mean. You can turn your brain off because you can just like let the entertainment like wash over you. And for me, no, not
And
at all.
the
I turned my
only-
brain off because I was disinterested. Like I didn't care.
Yeah.
And the only character that kind of grabbed any attention whatsoever was one that they didn't even originally have in the movie. Like, so that just shows how Tig Notaro.
Yeah.
She's
Edited
all her
in.
scenes are cut literally by herself. Like
and
in
she's
every
just
frame.
in green screen that they put her in the
Right.
shots.
Just moved her
And
a
she's
little
the
bit to
best character,
right.
which shows me that the movie you made before this must have been even worse.
Who was
So
it
like,
before? Why was she?
it was Chris Delia or whatever.
Okay,
Whatever.
I remember
He
now.
got
Okay.
canceled or whatever. So, but that's just crazy to me that the best character was one that you didn't even
That you copped
originally-
in,
Yeah, that
and,
like
like-
saved your movie in quotes. Like
right.
And
crazy.
she was so awkward and all this stuff. And I mean, I understand why, because she was talking to
no one
no one.
trying
but
to insert dialogue
Yeah.
moments. Like, yeah,
no, it was bad.
for sure. All right, let's move on from that.
Yeah.
Dumpster
Before we
fire.
get any more heated.
I went off. Didn't think I'd get that heated. What'd you guys have?
Yeah. We're
Patricia, I'll save mine for last.
Mine's kind of a combination because I think these two movies just made me really sad that they were made in like a really bad way, because there's a lot of movies that deserve a lot of like recognition, but these two got made, you know. It's,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it's Cinderella
Oh.
with Camila Cabello,
Ooh.
and He's All That.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which, okay, She's All That is a classic rom-com, okay? Classic.
Yeah.
And then they had to remake it and like gender flip it or whatever and put in a freaking TikTok star that can't act or sing or dance. I don't know. It just makes me so angry that
Like they tarnished the image of She's
it's
All
like
That.
filmmaking is so, I don't know. I just love filmmaking so much, and then they do this. It's like, what the fuck? You just want money.
Lazy.
Oh, it was awful. It was fun to watch because it was a train wreck.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm like, why are we doing this?
Why did we put so much effort in like months of work? Months.
exactly
Direct that towards something better.
better?
Right?
Exactly.
Money, resources, people's time. Like, come on. Yeah, I didn't see either of them. I only saw the Cinderella trailer 500 times on Amazon Prime. But it didn't look. Yeah, I was just like,
it was
wow, this is a movie.
Awful. Like Idina Menzel deserved better. Like James Corden was in it. Like I'm just
Everything.
why, and like even like Camilla's voice, like singing voice, felt like they didn't even mix it right, because some parts I was just like, I thought you were a singer. Like,
What happened?
like, I don't know, this isn't live.
Yeah.
You know, singing and what is happening? It was just awful. They try to make her like a CEO kind of thing, but I'm like, nothing was wrong with the first Cinderella. That she, she wanted a prince to save her or whatever.
Yeah.
It's got to be modernized.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm like, the fuck?
Though. Yeah.
But yeah,
And then I don't know the main actor who was doing the fairy godmother stuff.
Oh, Billy Porter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a good actor. He just seems like he wanted to play that role.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He was there for like 5 minutes, but he was like in every trailer.
Yeah,
like,
that's I saw him every single time. I was like,
he didn't even sing. What? Yeah, I don't even remember what happened. It was just
it was a blur.
It just makes me so angry, but. I'm gonna stop now before I say a lot more.
You've rambled enough.
Thanks for watching those ones. So I don't.
Honestly.
Because like legitimately, I would not have the courage to watch.
That was brave of you.
Yeah,
seriously.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, Alex, let's fucking hear it, man.
Light it up.
Well, my number one is Candyman. Okay, so there's a lot of movies that. They have their plot holes and things that are wrong with them. Then there's this Candyman. And this one really bothered me because not only the plot holes, but it abandoned everything that it set up by the end of the movie. The core concept is you look in the mirror and you say Candyman, what, 4 times? Is that what it was?
5 times?
4 or 5?
I thought it was 3.
See, I don't even know the rules because they just were like, oh, this is the rule? Fuck
rules
it.
Out the window.
3, 4, 5, 5.
But anyway, the point is one person says it right into the mirror. The end of the movie to push the agenda that needed to be not necessarily pushed in this movie because it didn't have to be a political movie and have a political message in it, but the times, I guess, whatever, do what you want. Obviously they did. Anyway, by the end of the movie, in order to push their message, they had to break the rules of the movie that they set up. Make a separate movie for this. Don't take a movie that is supposed to be a horror movie that wasn't even fucking horror movie. Put some gore in there every once in a while. Like, give me some more blood. Are you sure there was a lot of it? It was disgusting. But it's a horror movie that's supposed to be a slasher. But they're just like, fuck that too. We got to get to the end, to this moment right here where... Do you guys want to see the movie? Do you mind if I just say this?
No.
At the end of the movie, this police officer's looking in the mirror and... What was it? The girl in the back seat. She's saying Candyman, Candyman, Candyman. And she stops before she says the final one. And then for some reason, the mirror moves back to the man and he says it one time. And Candyman comes, doesn't kill her, kills him. He only said it one time to complete her, chain of Candymans.
It's the 5th time, the most important.
She was the one saying it to begin with. Yeah. I don't know. And then for one, none of those guys, the police officers out and about, none of those guys said Candyman and they were just getting murked left and right. Yeah. It's like, don't make a separate movie to send this message. Yeah. Don't take a horror movie that already has its own rules set in place to send a message, I guess. I don't know. That's just what bugged me. Don't throw away the rules of a movie that you have set up from the very beginning. Stick with it.
That does seem weird to take a horror romp and then turn it into a fuck the police message. I don't know.
And that's exactly what he wanted to do by the end of the movie.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah, that was it. It was just fuck the police by the end of the movie. And
I knew it was a Jordan Peele movie where there was going to be some commentary.
Yeah.
I expected it to be a little smarter, I guess.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was completely, it was just like, okay, how do we squeeze this in here? Fuck it. Let's just do it at the end because the police are going to show up at this murder scene. But we got to find out how to kill them all. How are we going to do it smartly? Fuck it. Just have them just die. Fuck the rules, man. Let's just do it. Everyone will eat that shit up.
Right.
And I'm sure they did. Whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. Super boring up until that point, too.
Gotcha.
Just don't abandon your rules. You set up rules for yourself. And this movie was made back in the day. It's the rules of back then.
Right.
You just fucking wiped your ass with them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's true.
That's a shame. Yeah.
It was just a bummer because I was expecting a good horror movie because I like good horror slasher films, and that was just not it.
Get Out and Us too.
Right.
Those are good.
Jordan Peele has
films.
potential to make.
I assumed the track record would continue, maybe, but
Us was fantastic. Get Out was okay for me. It was okay.
I think Us was great.
Right, it was, and I'm like, okay, Jordan Peele's got his hand in this. Cool. Yeah, well, Jordan Peele hand fucked this movie. So
damn. I guess everyone has ups and downs in their career, right?
Yeah. I won't hold it against him, but this movie just really upset me because it was like, don't throw out your rules. Come on, just stick with them.
That's just a key rule that you have to, as a filmmaker,
right?
As a writer,
set parameters. Make sure you
just don't break them. That's it.
Yeah.
You set the world.
But,
right.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to pop off there for you guys.
Understandable. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah,
so,
it's been bottled up. Yeah. A lot of sleepless
nights. We've been able to vent. Now we can move on to the movies we really did enjoy this year.
Let's start moving our way up.
I'm excited.
To the top 10. I'm just going to give a few honorable mentions for my top 10 that didn't make it.
Yes.
Just a few movies that I want to give some credit to. One is Pig. I assume that might be on your guys' list. But I watched this one recently, and it actually really did stand out more than I expected it to. So didn't make top 10, but I really enjoyed it. Quiet Place Part 2 didn't make the top 10, but like we talked about earlier, perfect continuation of story. Yeah. And I want to give the credit to that story for being such a good sequel. And then the last one, kind of weird one, I just wanted to toss in was Cruella. I don't know if you guys watched this one.
I haven't seen that one.
I was like shitting on this movie at the beginning of the year when I heard about it. I was like, what the fuck are they making this movie for? Like, what's the message here? Yeah. You're going to want to kill 100 dogs at the end of the movie or whatever the fuck. Like, which they didn't end it that way. They ended it for like another movie, I would say. But that movie is way smarter and way better than I ever expected it to be. Like the writers who took that concept knew how to make it well. Yeah. And like they knew like the traps they were going to be falling into and like maneuvered out of them perfectly. Nice. Like it was way better than I thought. Not top 10 material, but like I just wanted to give the credit to that movie because
I thought it was going to be more like Maleficent.
Yeah.
But it was a lot better.
It's unique and it's got a style. It's like fun. Emma Stone's really fun in it. I mean, and the concept of it, like there's like a conflict set up in the movie that actually like rings pretty good for that world, I'd say. Yeah. So yeah, that's good. Yeah, really like that one. Honorable mention for me though.
Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
You guys have some more? Like, just want to do the mentions first?
One of my honorable mentions was Quiet Place 2. That was almost in my top 10. I kind of adjusted it before we started today too. I've been kind of tweaking it. King Richard was an honorable mention.
Yeah, fair enough.
That one snuck up on me. Didn't expect to like it as much as I did for a biopic.
Can make you cry.
Yeah, Will Smith was great.
He's got it.
And the girl actors or actresses,
so good.
Venus
they
and
were
Serena.
They were very good.
Yeah,
I mean, and then Last Night in Soho. Those are my three honorable mentions. That stuff. Yeah,
cool.
Mine is actually Come On, Come On.
Nice.
I did not know what this movie was about, but like. I was sitting there and I was just, my heart was like beating really fast. I don't know why. I just love the relationship he had with his niece, or not niece, what nephew. Yeah. English is hard. But it was just like very, I don't know how to say, like emotionally aware of like
what it was.
Yeah. And like it was very honest and very vulnerable, and I just love that.
That's for sure.
The other one is actually kind of random, but it's the latest season of The Great British Bake Off.
Oh, wow.
Love that
show. I always love it, but for some reason this season, like all the contestants was just like, I just want to hug, especially Jürgen. I don't know if you guys watched. I think he was robbed. But
I think a couple people were robbed.
Yeah,
like I think Freya
Christelle, freaking bread was raw, and it was just like a trip. But it was just an amazing season. Dude. I'm very passionate about it.
People are crazy about that show. I can't get into it.
I love it.
I just sit there and like watched like 5 seasons. And I was like, what time is it?
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I need to bake.
That is a shocking honorable mention.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
I love it so much.
God, that is good. God, yeah, now I just want to watch some of that. Now I just want to watch people make food.
Watch the holiday ones. Oh,
yeah, I do. I need to watch those. Good stuff. My ones that didn't make it in my mentions. Tick Tick Boom. I did really enjoy it, and I watched it a couple days ago. Yeah, very good. And the more musicals I watch, the more I'm just finding that I do really enjoy musicals.
Yeah. If they're well made, dude.
If they're well made.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And for the most part, I know I like Lin-Miranda Manuel stuff. So that one, James Gunn's Suicide Squad.
Oh,
nice.
Because it was just like, it did what Zack Snyder couldn't, and it took something shit and
elevated it 100%.
Didn't just polish it.
Yeah, exactly. Polished turd. And then I don't know if you guys have watched this one, but I was taken surprised by how much I liked it, was Judas and the Black Messiah.
That was one I missed, so
really good. Lakeith Stanfield, like all the acting is good. I believe it's Jesse Plemons in that as well as the FBI agent.
Nice.
Really cool story, and like really cool like picture of just like the civil social rights scene and that kind
time.
Of thing. Yeah. So I really enjoyed that one. Didn't make my list, but definitely deserve like a watch and a look.
Cool.
So.
I got to go back for that one, honestly.
It's worth
that one didn't land for me, honestly.
No,
it was
I can see why. I don't know. It's probably
the pacing was a big deal for me. I think
it can drag. It does kind of like get low, kind of. But yeah.
It was good, but it just wasn't my favorite.
Not top 10 material.
Yeah, not top 10.
Didn't make mine.
Yeah.
Right.
But
it was good though. It was good.
Right. But now wait, you got wait, do yours?
Yeah, I did mine.
Yeah.
Did mine.
Okay, sorry. So we're moving into the top 10 then. Yeah.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Number 10.
Who wants to start? Anyone got?
I'll start
10?
with my number 10 was The Green Knight.
Nice.
Man, dude, I still have to see that one because I know
good.
I would like it.
It's so good. I mean, it's just like stepping into Dark Souls, Skyrim. It's just great. It was like I was playing an RPG but watching it.
Yeah.
This is, we talked about cartoons growing up. Skyrim, Oblivion was my shit growing up. Like so many hours put into Oblivion, and then Skyrim came out and changed my life and all this stuff. So it was like reliving my childhood in a movie because I also love movies. So it was just perfect for me.
Nice.
I really liked it. It was a blast. I mean, it was a slow burn, but it was a very fun slow burn. Well acted, well shot.
It was beautiful.
It was.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. That movie too, and the more I think back on it, it's like such a well-established world.
Yeah.
Even though you don't know the limits of it all, it just feels like it's tangible or real, and like the characters in it and the motivations of all of it.
Yeah, definitely.
A really good fantasy story for sure.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's been on my list since it came out, and I just didn't get around to seeing it.
Yeah.
But like I know I would be in for the whole medieval fantasy
for
lore
sure.
of
It's
all
great.
that stuff.
It's great. But
Good stuff.
I'll move on to my number 10. Had to give this one the credit, at least in the top 10. I put No Time to Die. And I'll just only say a few words about it, but just a perfect ending to the series.
Yes, sir.
Like it just, I don't know. It was the best one, I think, honestly, out of the newer Daniel Craig ones.
Take a bow, Daniel Craig, because
seriously, and it was like such a good movie that it actually deserves a top 10, and I'm not just like giving it the credit. Honestly, it's like a really good movie.
It is.
So it was top 10 for me. So
cool. Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. A good theater experience with it.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
good stuff. Yeah.
Really good action. Like the fucking action is nuts.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. My number 10 is actually Squid Game.
Ooh,
nice.
I loved it a lot. I thought it was kind of predictable, but
Yeah,
it never took me out of the story. It was just like, it was amazing, and I'm glad like South Korean TV shows are finally getting recognition. I've been watching it for years, but like it was just so different from what I usually watch in South Korean, because I usually watch the rom-coms, all that stuff, and it was just so different and original, and I love it a lot. Yeah,
That's fair. That's a good one. I didn't. Mine's a series too, but it's Arcane.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's my 10. It made it because it shocked me. Because it shocked me so much how much I loved it. I was like, I gotta throw it in.
There's a lot of video game adaptations, and you know they all usually suck.
Yep.
Right.
But
this one, like you said, like I had no prior background knowledge of the world, of the game, anything. And I was still able to just like fucking fully enjoy it and invest myself in it.
Right.
And now I want more. Like I'm hungry. Like I want to be in that world more and like learn more. So.
Cool.
Don't play the game. Like I said, it's like heroin but worse. All right.
Yeah. Well, one of our older
fuck
brother
you up.
plays it, and like he's in that. So
My roommate quit college because of League of Legends because he wanted to go quote pro.
Nice.
He's still not pro.
Esports.
Wow.
But no, worth watch. Good animation. Good story. Good stuff.
Nice. All right. Number 9.
My number 9, another TV show, and the new season came out this year, The Great.
I've been meaning to watch that.
It's
for a long time.
I gotta watch the second season still.
Yeah, the first season shocked me with how much I like cared about the characters and specifically Catherine and Peter and stuff like that. And then the second season, like just kind of like it stepped up in that like it still is very well balanced in its like comedy and its emotions. Like it can smack you with like a moment where you're like choked up or you're like, clenching.
Dude,
like what's gonna happen.
That show can get so dark while everyone's like laughing.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I mean.
Crazy.
It's very like tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that about it. And it's just like it's hilarious. I don't know. I love Peter more and more, and like and you're still rooting for Catherine. But yeah, that's good.
Nice.
Yeah. My number 9 is Bo Burnham's Inside.
Nice.
Okay, very nice.
I kind of feel bad because I kind of bumped it down a little bit, but I thought it would be. It has to be part of my top 10.
Yes,
because I didn't get Bo Burnham before Inside. Like I refused to watch it with my sister before. But then I just watched it. I was like, what was I thinking?
Right.
Yeah. He understands me.
Right.
But yeah, it was just really good.
That's
Good pick. Good pick.
I don't know if I should say, but that's also in my list.
Me too.
Inside.
Same.
We'll talk more on it later.
Yeah, we'll get. Well, yeah.
All right, my number 9. I actually just watched this movie today, trying to get it in before this list. It was Tick, Tick, Boom. We talked a little bit about it. Really enjoyed it. Like we said about Andrew Garfield's performance, he really shined in this movie. Like the music, a lot of it was really good, and then just the struggle of like an artist or a writer.
Yeah.
Like this movie really encapsulated those moments as like a creator, where it's like you're really trying to find like you're literally in between pushing your entire life into it or completely giving up on it. Like, and it's like such a hard thing to go through as like an artist, and it's just really like made me want to like it really endeared it to me as a writer, obviously. But it nailed it. I think it was really good, and it definitely deserves like the awards in the top 10 for me. So
glad Andy Garf is getting to you now.
Yeah, you know, he's got a style, but if he gets the right role, I mean, he can really shine.
Just took a musical, you know?
Right?
My number 9 was actually, this one shocked me. It's a Norwegian film. It's called The Trip. It's about a husband and wife. They're having trouble in their marriage, and they both are plotting to kill each other on their trip, their yearly trip out to a cabin, his dad's cabin. And it turns on its head when there's also somebody else there that ends up trying to kill them as well. So it's
like, should they work
it was
together?
fantastic. I mean, it was fucking violent. It was funny. It was dark, and the end payoff, everything. It was great. It was a lot of fun. A blast to watch.
That sounds like a good premise.
Yeah. It was just
sounds like a trip.
It was like one of those ones where I thought I'm just gonna turn my brain off. I couldn't because I had to read the subtitles the whole time. But it was good though. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like a fun like rabbit hole to go down.
It was just things happening by chance that just kept spiraling and spiraling and got more violent as it progressed.
All I love about like the Coen's stuff is like the absurdism of like things happening. I love that about it.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
I gotta check that one out. That sounds really
It's
fun.
on Netflix, so
cool. I'll move on with my number 8. We're on 8, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
This was WandaVision. Had to give it the credit it deserved. Not every MCU hits, every MCU like property hits. I think we talked a little bit about
Rarely.
Obviously. It's rare. This one had the love, had the passion, and it had the quality. I don't know. Like I said at the beginning of the year, this really like opened up for me. Just it made me re-engage in the MCU, and then now by the end of the year, I'm like debating on leaving it. Yeah. But that one made me re-enter the MCU again, so I have to give it its credit.
Dude, guess what my number 8 is?
What?
Wonderful. That's so weird.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, to add to that, it was just a great character study for Wanda, and like even Vision. Like I didn't care for Vision before WandaVision, and like now that he's like dead again, I'm like, why?
Yeah, it was like a heartfelt ending of that show, that series too, and
then Catherine Hahn like
nailed it.
True, coming through.
I'm so excited, but this show was really amazing.
Cool.
Thanks. Well, my 8, I don't know, it's weird. Like the bottom half of my top 10 are mostly shows, and then it goes into the movies. But no, Ted Lasso. That's my
Yeah.
I mean, like I don't know what to say that we haven't already said about it, but it's fucking good, people. Let's just leave it at that. Sign into Apple.
It got nominated for 20 Emmys the first season.
Right.
Yeah.
And it deserved every single one.
If that's not telling, I don't know. But
Great.
100%.
Great pick. Good pick. Yeah. My number 8 was Nobody.
Oh yeah.
I love Bob Odenkirk. I love, obviously it's the John Wick vibe, because I don't know it's like pretty much the same creator, right? Am I getting that wrong? The writer is like the same writer.
It might be. I'm not sure.
I forget. But anyway, it's pretty much John Wick, but I think it has a little bit more heart, I guess.
Yeah.
I know the first John Wick has a lot of heart in terms of like the relationship, and he's seeking the revenge for his last dying his wife's last dying gift or whatever. Anyway,
last connection to his wife or whatever.
But this one had a lot more heart. I feel like Bob Odenkirk brought some more life to the role. He obviously has better acting chops than Keanu. But it was a lot of fun. Probably one of my favorite bus fight sequences. So,
100%. It was so raw in that scene.
And he did I'm pretty sure all of his own stunts, or a majority of them. So props to that guy. Can't wait to see you in Better Call Saul. But yeah, that was my number 8.
How does the bus fight compare to Shang-Chi?
It's better.
It's better.
More
Better
gritty.
than Shang-Chi. Yeah.
More gritty. Okay.
Yeah, and that Shang-Chi is like my third favorite bus fight scene.
Okay.
Yeah. Safe is number 2 with that's a subway car, but I mean
Oh,
same thing, same difference.
Are there any? I haven't seen Speed. Are there any? Are there any fights on the bus?
I also haven't seen Speed, so you know.
Bus fights.
Yeah, nobody at number 8 for me.
Nice.
Cool. Good pick.
Cool. So we on number 7 now?
Yes, sir.
7. For me, number 7 was Nomadland.
Oh man.
Yeah, this
Talking about one I overlooked.
Right.
And watched,
I think it was released technically in like 2020, but it only came to the U.S. in 2021. So I qualify it kind of, and it just won the Best Picture. I mean, so obviously it's a pretty good movie, but no, it's super. It's been a very long time since I watched this, but I'm gonna try and give like my best thoughts. But when I watched this movie with Emily, like I reevaluated what was important to me after this movie and like what I needed for like a house, what I needed for money. What, like it just makes you like question what your life is like worth and like what you need in your life and
what
who
you value.
you need in your life. Yeah. And it was like some of those actors in this movie are real people. Like they're not even acting. So it's like it's a really unique movie, really cool movie. Frances McDormand killed it, and it really just shows like the side of America that you like never see, but you like it's so heartfelt what's there. So it was really cool.
Yeah, it's definitely portrays like a side of America that I think that people usually like just don't want to look at, I guess, you know. But yeah, like there is it's about people and like there's heart and soul there. So yeah, for
sure.
Good pick. Yeah, that's a good fucking movie.
It could be up higher too, but there's so many good movies that I wanted to put higher than it just because like it's a really good watch. I only watched it once because it brings out so many like anxieties in you.
Yeah.
But it is like cathartic.
Yeah. It definitely like like you analyze what it means to be human in that show kind of.
It made me think a lot because often I would kind of feel bad for, you know, people who didn't have much. But like this movie kind of showed like they don't really
you don't need it.
Like they're content, they're happy.
Yeah.
And that's all you need in life, you know?
Yeah,
they got their stove, they got their little like bus or little car or whatever.
They get a couple like times throughout the year to see people or each other and like yeah,
it's really cool. Definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Still need to see it. It's on my list.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
My number 7 is The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Hey, nice.
So good. Cried a lot. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Just like the characters were so relatable. Like each and every one of them, I was like, oh, I don't know. Every time, I don't know. It was just so good.
When you see the footage of the dad, like when he like you realize why he took the little wooden moose, dude. Like, and he's just watching. Like you see him leaving his house. Oh my god, dude! Like I broke down right there. Right?
I'm getting like goosebumps.
Yeah,
right
you
now,
don't even.
remembering.
It's like so simple how they did it too, but so effective. And it's so good.
And the way the daughter like made the films, but it was kind of like what she felt
about
like
their relationship.
And then the dad was watching, and I was like. But it was just so good. I'm glad that you recommended it. Because
it was like a low key one that I didn't watch for months, but then I was like, man, I feel like I needed to get this. I'm glad we got it around to it. So.
Good stuff. My number 7 is the Beatles documentary. I guess I don't know. I enjoyed it that much, and I don't know. I think I think we're all pretty creative people, and as a creative person, you're just like interested in what it kind of means to be creative.
The process.
Yeah, like
behind the scenes kind
there are other people going through it.
Yeah, right. The struggle is real and it's there. And
it's really nice to see that the greatest band of all time was struggling.
Right.
Like, holy fuck.
It's like holy shit. Yeah. Like, good things come out of the hard times.
But kind of makes them look more human, you know?
Definitely,
Because
they're just people.
They're idolized and all that stuff.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, they're definitely like elevated, and you're like the Beatles. No one will fucking hold a torch to the Beatles.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
But then George Harrison walks out, and Paul McCartney, you know,
it's like, what do we do?
Shits on John Lennon, and they're both legends. So like, what do you do? But
and Ringo's in the back, just chilling on the drum set,
chilling.
You know, like, when do I play?
Like that documentary, like you said, with this is Spinal Tap. I was like, he is the lukewarm water. He is literally the dude in the back that's just there to like as a calming presence.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, that's my number 7.
Nice, good pick.
My number 7 was, as mentioned earlier, No Time to Die.
Hey,
you shouldn't get all choked up in a fucking James Bond movie, but this one, I don't know, something about it. It was great. I loved it.
Everything came together for me in that one.
It was it was a perfect cherry on top. You know,
this may be like the first James Bond movie that there's like love inserted into it. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, like
dude, like I mean, one of the things I can mainly remember is like when they're getting out of the facility, like the poison plant or whatever, and he's got his daughter, right, and the girl he loves, and he's like, this is my family. Like he like chokes it out, you know. It's like
can't say it.
James Bond can't have a family.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then that picture of him like sitting on the building and like the missiles, you know, like, you're just like, damn, this is
it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Great ending.
Yeah, what a great cap to that.
Nice. I'm glad that it was a little lower on yours then. Moving to number 6.
I'll start with mine just because it was mentioned earlier. It's Inside.
Oh, cool.
My first taste of Bo Burnham.
It's not the last time it will be mentioned.
No.
Yeah, no. It was higher on my list, but you know, I watched a few new ones that bumped it down. But Inside it. I watched it and then I rewatched it and then I rewatched it and then I rewatched it and I've listened to the album on repeat and it's my most listened to songs, every single one of them. I mean, that funny feeling,
dude,
goddamn.
love that one.
Welcome to the Internet, the character he plays, the Internet, everything about it. Yeah, it was just perfectly created. You know, he did great. So 5 out of 5 for me on that one.
Nice.
But, yeah, number 6, Inside.
Very nice.
I'll go with my number 6. I actually recently moved this down. It was a lot higher. I put The Suicide Squad here. It was like number 2 for a long time. But there were a lot of other ones I wanted to give their due to. But I think when we did this review, I said this movie was literally like written for me, or like this is the movie I would write almost, or like try to write. And that's just what it felt like for me. Like James Gunn was hitting all the notes with Margot Robbie. Like you said, there was something there this time that wasn't there last time. Yeah. And I think overall with this property, there's something here this time that wasn't there. Obviously last time, but like
the opening scene alone to this one was
just
like
subverting that expectation. Yeah. Like it was just ahead of the viewer at every turn. It felt like James Gunn. This feels like the right, like the the Venn diagram of like his writing styles. This is like literally right in the middle of like what he is good at, and that's just, it was perfect. I gave it number 6 for me. So.
Nice.
My number 6 is a musical. Surprise, surprise! It's called Come From Away. So you know how like Hamilton was filmed on stage? This is basically the same thing.
Okay, cool.
So it's about like this is what happened when 38 planes were ordered to land during like the 9/11 attacks in a small town in Gander, Newfoundland. So it's just a story about how they had to come together, this small town, to, you know, just accommodate all these people, and how it changed the lives and stuff like that. It's kind of funny because this musical was nominated for a Tony Award against Dear Evan Hansen, and Dear Evan Hansen won.
Wow.
But now it's flipped because the movie, this one is like getting a lot of like positive reviews and all this stuff. But this one was just so good. Like the music was amazing. I listened to it all the time, and just the story was so captivating. And instead of it kind of being sad, which, you know, 9/11 is sad, but like it was so wholesome and heartfelt that these strangers can just be kind to one another.
Yeah.
So
the premise of that like seems like a challenge for the writer to really find the meaning. So that, I mean, if they did it well, that sounds really cool. Then
they only used like tables and chairs. They had to like set an airplane scene with just chairs, and like the stage was rotating. It was so cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Really
nice.
It's on Apple TV.
Hey.
How is it?
Right, cool.
Interesting. I feel like that'd be an interesting like viewpoint, like lens and stuff, and seems interesting. People coming together in time of crisis. And
I haven't even heard of that one, so that's cool.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
So good.
My 6 was Pig.
Nice.
A little piggy. Yeah. Like I said, I think Cage's performance was like solid, and like Alex Wolff's character just like was interesting enough to like for me to care about like what these two were doing and like why they were going certain directions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the end, and then it's like it took like the John Wick, the revenge formula, and it subverted all my expectation for it. So and it did it well.
Like whoever wrote this movie went into it attempting to write the anti John Wick.
Right.
Honestly,
right.
I think.
Yeah. For sure.
Because like by the end of it, he beats the bad guy by cooking him the best meal of his life.
Right.
Yeah, and making him cry.
Yeah. And like there's no violence.
And that speech he gives the one chef, and he's like,
Yeah.
"What are you making? Like, why are you doing this?" And then he's like, "What happened to the bar you wanted?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Is this really your passion?"
Yeah.
Honestly, think about it. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
Just digs
What
into
the fuck?
people.
What is this movie doing to me right
Yeah.
now?
His character's pretty like raw and unfiltered, and I dug it.
And they had that like Portland mystique built through the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, it actually like for John Wick, it's like I don't know this guy.
Yeah.
And he's just badass throughout the entire world. For Pig, it's like everyone in Portland knows who that guy
Right.
is.
Yeah.
And like
You
that,
don't
that
know
just
it,
is like
but, yeah.
real. You know,
The
like,
name
more
has
real.
power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one for sure. Moving on to 5.
Number
or-
5?
Yeah, 6 still, or-
My
Interesting.
6 was Inside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, that's my number 5.
Inside.
Yeah.
Inside?
So yeah.
Well, I'll
So
just
right
say
there.
it's my number 4, guys.
Wow. All right. then.
Right down the line, 6, 5, 4.
Boom.
There you go.
So that it's funny that it's like right in the middle of our like it had to be.
Yeah.
It had to be
in
there. Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
kind of hard for me to quantify it of like
Mhm.
a movie or a stand-up show
Yeah.
Right,
or like
right.
what it was, but overall, it's just a piece of like media.
Yeah.
It's like a movie length.
Good
it's all
content.
edited. Yeah,
Great
Yeah.
content.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, for sure. It does. It just is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It just deserves it.
It's,
Daddy made our favorite.
Right?
I would.
Gave
Say, I
it
mean,
to
I
me
was
here.
debating if I should put this as my best documentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just technically, you know,
It is
was
kinda
kind
like-
it
It's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It fills a lot of different little areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's like we're getting a peek in his life and like
Mhm.
his
during
yeah,
pandemic.
basically,
Right.
Yeah. That's true.
isolated, the artists being isolated, and like what that means, kind of
Yeah.
how to survive.
That's a cool look.
Isolating yourself.
Actually, I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it like that way, but
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So it was 5 Inside. What did you have for 5? Patricia?
5. I did Last Night in Soho.
Nice.
Good choice.
Just hit
Nice.
all the right spots. The
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
music,
Yeah.
just the shot, everything, cinematography.
Mm.
I really like Edgar Wright, so
Oh,
I was
yeah.
debating between him and Wes Anderson for best director too.
Mhm.
But you know, Wes Anderson's my fave.
Right.
But anyway, Last Night in Soho, just
Cool.
so good. I
Nice.
was just not expecting it, but also did. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just so good. Like the concept and story was so
Yeah.
original to me.
Yeah, and the music was great.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Performances,
Soundtrack.
And
you
there's a
know,
little twist at the end that's just like,
Mhm. so good. Matt Smith was in it, so,
right,
you know.
right.
Checks all the boxes.
Dude,
Exactly.
and I don't know. I've seen so many like breakdowns of like dance scenes and behind the scene, and like what they
Mhm.
did for all the mirrors,
Yeah.
Practical stuff
yeah,
that they did.
and it's just very smart
Mhm.
filmmaking and
Yeah.
cool stuff they're doing.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay. I'll go on to my number 5, and I think we gotta chill.
Okay.
I put Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Ooh.
I just saw this the other day.
Number 5, really?
You know, it could go higher. I had it lower, and then I was like, dude, this movie.
Something
I don't
magical
even-
happened.
It's
Yeah.
literally like
It's pretty.
the experience I had in the theater was one of the best I've ever had. Like
Yes,
just the
sir.
camaraderie of the audience together in the moment
Yeah.
for this thing. Like literally applause breaking out at the right, like in moments. Like
And you
people.
didn't mind the applause.
No.
It- I was there.
It's
with
like
the
so
applause.
warranted.
Like,
Yeah.
it was crazy. Like it just happened, and like it's like 20 years of build up made specifically for like a 20 something like me
Yeah.
Mhm.
who grew up with the other
Yeah.
Spider-Man and stuff like that, and like it's perfect. It's so good.
Yeah.
It's definitely
I cried. I laughed. I
Yeah.
loved it.
the
Like it's
balance
just-
between it all. Wonderful.
Yeah.
We got
Yeah.
We got Willem Dafoe back on the glide, like in the green suit. We
Yeah.
got the doc. It's like one of the most magical things to come
I'm
out
so
of the
excited
MCU.
to see it.
You
So
could just see the generations too in the theater. I don't know how full your guys' theater was,
Dude,
but
yeah,
it
I
was
was telling
fucking.
him
And you
that.
could see like the people who were there for the Tom Holland ones, and
Yeah.
then all the
the Garfield
Andrew
Garfield
Diehards,
ones,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you have the Toby
Toby.
ones.
Yeah.
And
when
it's
his
just,
mask got pulled off, Garfield for the first time, the entire place fucking like stood to its
Erupted.
feet.
It
like,
started at a low roar because it was like the
The
portal
buildup,
opened,
yeah,
and then it was
buildup.
like
In the alley.
everyone's like, "Oh my god, oh my god!" And then it was like poof, and everyone's like, it was just kind of like, "Oh my god, you can't not be
yeah.
so emotional right now."
Like
But-
that sucks because, like I said, WandaVision kicked off the year right.
Mhm.
By the end of this year, I was like, man, I might be done. Spider-Man, fucking shit, dude. Like
That's
they
fucking-
know the ones that they can get.
That's what Disney
Yeah.
does. man.
Yeah.
As soon as they disenfranchise you, they're like, come for
Come
this little
back.
sweet little
Where the
morsel
fuck are
here.
you
I have
going?
everything you love here.
yeah.
So it 100% one of the best movies of the year.
Yeah.
It'll be brought up again in my list.
Same.
so.
Gotcha.
Same.
My
Here.
number 5 though was The French Dispatch.
Nice.
Yeah, good one.
Great movie, a blast. I mean, yeah. What more is there to say? We've talked it up. Yeah,
it's like art on film.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
A lot to eat up in every scene, and rewatchability is through the roof on this one. For sure. So
best $20 I've ever spent.
Right.
So good.
Sorry, first off, did I say anybody's ones on accident or anything like that? I forget which one you guys.
No one. I don't think anybody's gonna say my one.
Oh.
No, you're good.
My one has just been said.
Yeah, fuck. Hey, that's my bad.
No, that's fine.
Wow, we even prepped for this.
I know, right?
I just said his.
What everyone's was.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I can just do some last minute reshuffling.
Right.
Actually, no, yeah.
I won't say any more about the French Dispatch at this point in time. That's my number 5, though. French Dispatch.
I don't think I said too much about Tick Tick Boom.
Yeah,
so.
you're fine.
We have had a whole episode on French Dispatch, so
yeah.
You know, if you really want to hear our deeper thoughts on it, go there. But
all right, so we still on 5?
Nope, I think we're on 4 now. Yeah.
Ever did 5?
Yeah.
Cool. 4 for me was Inside. We've already said that.
Okay, very nice, very nice.
Yeah. 4 for me was Ted Lasso.
Hey.
Nice.
I just rewatched a Christmas episode the other day.
Oh, good.
Oh, so good.
I love. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, well, a lot of people are like kind of not into season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why.
I don't know why. Like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I mean, your opinion is valid, but your opinion is wrong.
Right.
But it was just
Check yourself.
so good.
Yeah.
Like, just because, what's her name? Rebecca is not the main villain anymore.
Yeah.
There's still tension, like with Nate and
Yeah.
everything
it's
else.
developing the characters at this point,
Basically,
so
and
organically too.
Why else would you watch a show like Succession? That's what makes it so great.
Exactly.
Like there's not necessarily everything like propelling forward, but the characters are
Shifting.
so
That's why you come
evolving
back. Fluid,
constantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's second season of Ted Lasso, and I think
So
that's why a
good.
lot of people
Yeah.
probably aren't with it,
Yeah.
But
No, good pick.
Yeah.
And now I just want to watch that
I
episode.
know. I just want to watch it again.
The way, I just love that Christmas episode ends with actual Santa flying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That
And
just-
the kids seeing it.
That just proves to me that there's like a magic in that show that they're not they're not scared to
Yeah.
like present to you.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
literally, they're not. They're like uncynically giving it to you. You know, like
Don't shy
that's
away
great.
from it. Yeah.
my number
Great.
4 was higher on my list until recent events, but it was Malignant. And you know what? People can fucking hate it, but I had a blast watching this.
Really?
I knew it was going to be campy, and that's my favorite type of horror is campy horror. I didn't realize how they sent it. Let me just say on the whole, they went for it. And
full send.
James Wan, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Killed it. I mean, I loved it. It was fun. It was a blast. It was my number 1 for a long time, and then
Nice.
recent events bumped it down. But
That's
it's
one that kind of just flew under my radar. I'm not a huge
Yeah.
horror guy or whatever, but so it's like not
It's-
on the forefront of mine. But
At the end of the day, I would say it's just a badass action flick. Because I mean, there's horror elements, but like it knew what it was, and
Yeah.
Okay.
with the way it was marketed, it made it sound like the Conjuring, the creator of the Conjuring and stuff.
Right.
No, forget about just throw all those. Go in with an empty brain, empty it out,
Yeah.
put it back in, watch this movie, and just have a good fucking time.
Yeah,
I mean, don't go
nice.
in expecting jump scares and things like that. Go in and just
Really?
expect a blast,
Mm.
some violence, some cool, weird action scenes. I mean, in the James Wan twist. I mean, there was a twist, but I mean, that's not what I was fucking enjoying the
Right.
most
Yeah.
out of it. It was the cool action and the way all the shots were. I don't know. It was great. It was a blast. And,
Nice.
it's a shame it's getting shit on. But
Right.
Yeah.
That's-
Well, my expectations are set now. I'm
hopefully
Excited.
you don't go in and you come to me and you say, "Hey, fuck you, man. That was
Fuck
bad."
off.
the
Yeah,
fuck
fuck off.
I made you guys watch Candyman, so I can't. can't be
Yeah, and you
angry.
never watched
I
it.
know.
Yeah.
Damn.
Nice, good pick though.
My number 4 was Dune.
Okay.
Good old Dunes. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like in halfway through the second book now, and so my love for the universe has just grown ever
Yeah.
more. And then I think, like I said, we've said before, like Denis Villeneuve did a pretty, handled it pretty well, and all the acting was pretty much there, and just a good time. I feel like you can kind of just like sit back and let yourself be absorbed by it a little bit.
For sure. Yeah. It was definitely a theater experience.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, for sure.
Cool. Yeah. I find myself not really having much to say about Dune. It was like my
Yeah.
lower honorable mention kind of
Yeah,
thing. But,
Yeah.
but I
Middle
think
of
you
the road.
you read all the books and stuff. So I mean, it's like,
I'm just endeared to it at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Top 3 now we're entering here.
Yeah.
We on 3?
Yeah.
Well, let me just say mine's The French Dispatch.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. My number 3. This is a show. Have you guys heard of it? It's called Squid Game.
No, I haven't heard of that one.
No? Okay, well, I'll tell you a little
How
bit
do you
about
play?
it. So.
What is it?
Yeah,
Is that
it's
a
on
CW
Netflix.
show?
It's on Netflix, but no, everyone knows the show. It took the world by storm. I think I just really gravitated towards this one a little more than most people probably, but I don't know. I was along for the ride the whole time. I get what you're saying, where it's kind of predictable. To me, it was like a live action anime where like they set a premise up and they like fully achieve the characters' realizations through the premise of the entire thing, and like it hooks you. At every episode makes you come back for like what you want more of, and I would totally be fine if it ended here, but I would love to see another season. I'm in. Like, I just love this world, love the style, love the vibe, all the acting. Like, it just, I don't know. Everyone knows it. Everyone loves it. I really enjoyed it, and I think it really holds a lot of value to me.
I mean, if anything, I've learned anything in the past like year or two. I think I just like the South Korean style of filmmaking. Like the way they tell stories is just very like immersive and good.
Yeah.
They force you into a world and like not. They force you into it, but it's not. You're not like aggressive. You're just like sucked into it.
You want to be there,
exactly.
Even though the situation is so terrible,
right?
But like the reason. Also, I like the show is so fucking like captivating. Is like about games and money, like the the two things that people love the most. And it's just like the perfect meld of those themes and what that means to get the money and who gets the money, who deserves the money. Like it's just perfect.
Yeah, on top of like forming these like genuine relationships with each other.
Actual
but
connections.
then you're actually backstabbing.
It's like a survival game in all that too. Like all that is there.
Like the marbles episode. That one was just I could not. I was like crying a lot.
Oh my
It was a lot emotional.
The relationship between the main guy and the old man. I mean, the twist at the end obviously changes things, but like that was so heartfelt. The whole, and I still think it's heartfelt even after the twist. But like, just like the connections that the characters made, the way everything was set up, even the villains, like they all had their arcs that ended perfectly. It was just really good. But that was my number 3. Yeah, it had to be up in top 3 for me. I don't know.
Not a bad pick.
What you guys have?
I'll just say mine was Pig. Talked about it a little bit.
Nice.
Pig was number 3 for me.
Nice.
Yeah. Fucking great movie. Had a blast. Been waiting a long time to watch it. Saw it. I was on Hulu. Watched it. And I was like,
same.
Damn you, Nick Cage. Right when I lose faith in you as a person.
That's what I mean.
Do this to me.
And no matter what movie you walk in with him, you're rolling some dice.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Are we gonna get Con Air again? I don't know. Good stuff.
Yeah.
I might do. I think last minute switch up.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I'm switching my 2 and 3 because. My 3 would be Last Night in Soho though. What haven't we said? I mean, music. Edgar Wright's filmmaking style, originality, and like the story, like just it's all there. Technical stuff, all there.
Yeah.
That's your 3 then?
That's my 3.
Gotcha.
Did you say your number 3 already?
It was The French Dispatch.
Oh yeah. Okay, I remember now.
Well, I'll move on to my 2, which is The French Dispatch.
What?
It is. It deserves to be high up on the list. That's all
Yeah.
I'll say about it for now.
Yeah.
We already talked about it, and Spider-Man: No Way Home, my number 2. God.
Same as mine. That's my number 2.
Yeah,
Number 2?
it's just something about it. You know, growing up with Toby, I don't know. I watched those movies so many times growing up, and then like even this year, I've watched the Raimi trilogy I think 3 times. Like the day before we went and saw this one, I just turned on Spider-Man 2 just because it's a great movie.
So
Andrew Garfield, I also love his movies. You know, and Tom Holland, we rewatched those, and I think
they're okay.
they're okay. And I think I didn't give enough credit when I first saw them.
Yeah.
Especially the first one was actually.
First one is good. I don't.
Yeah.
Second one's fine. I think it's a little like meta.
It is. It leaned into the MCU a little bit much for me, which I was worried going into No Way Home, but oh god,
they swung away,
slap my ass and call me Sally because Jesus, it was good. So much emotion. I don't know what else to say about it, but it was fucking.
Yeah, it's magical.
It's
so
a home
good.
run. Like
it is.
Yeah.
Killed it
out of the park.
Yeah.
And usually, you know, everything that melds together. I think you mentioned that the humor, the action, like him fighting Green Goblin in the apartment complex.
Right?
Dude, when he's like
That was
punching
so
him and the
fucking-
smiles
yeah.
just start showing up.
He's manic.
Willem Dafoe
Holy
eating up
fuck.
every scene that he. Oh
Yeah,
god,
dude, he's such a great actor.
he is.
Willem,
So fucking
right?
good.
Oh my gosh.
Nuts.
We watched Lighthouse this year, and
Oh, yeah, we
if
did.
nothing,
Right.
fucking phenomenal work.
Oh, damn.
But even in just like an MCU role where he's there for a few days or whatever,
Yeah.
he completely elevated that
Yeah.
entire
Oh.
every scene he was in. Like it just easily,
And-
it's
and-
effortlessly almost.
And he said like he would only take the role if he could do most of his own stunts too.
Oh,
Like,
really?
That was like
I
one of
wondered
his
about- yeah.
stipulations. So
Yeah.
I'm like, hats off to you, Willem.
Fucking
Keep
A.
it up.
Pulling it out.
Seriously,
Yeah. Number 2,
Seriously.
No Way Home. I love you.
I'm with you, man. Dude, I mean,
absolutely.
I don't want to spoil too much, but like
Mm.
the rooftop conversation with all three of them.
Yeah.
Mm.
So many emotions. So many.
Yeah.
I was literally getting flashbacks
Yeah.
to like like when Toby's talking about like
Yeah,
his
yeah.
background, and I'm just getting flashbacks to those movies, and I'm just like a little fucking kid again. And
And
it's just,
all the fan services were just so good. And
The memes.
I
that
don't
they
want to.
put
There's
in
a
there.
real emotional one with Andrew Garfield, you know.
Yes.
And I was just at that moment. I'm like,
I like broke down so fast
Yeah,
there
it was
because it
so
happened,
quick.
and I was just like, like
Yeah, seriously.
but anyway,
I have an important question though.
Yeah.
Did
Yes.
they do the Spider-Man thing?
So I didn't notice it the first time, but I think
didn't
that
either.
they put a little
Yeah.
Easter egg in there.
Really? Okay.
Where they get the meme in with the 3 Spider-Man pointing at each other, like
so
a little
excited.
bit. I think
Yeah.
it's there.
basically someone's like, "Hey, Peter," and they're just like, "What?
Yeah.
Where's Peter?" Like, "Oh, we're Peter.
Okay.
He's Peter."
I'm really excited because, like,
It's-
honestly, Toby and Andrew being in it is like the worst kept secret ever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm
it is,
excited.
and you know, I kind of wanted to believe it wasn't going to happen. But-
There's a couple other little Easter eggs in
There's
there.
a good-
Matt
there's good
Murdock
stuff.
coming in.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And then
Yeah.
and then those final end sequences, those
Mhm.
after credit scenes,
Anyway,
just little cherries
so
on
excited.
top.
could
Yeah.
go on forever about
Getting
this. I'm
hyped.
still coming down.
That's what I mean. I
Seriously.
literally saw it today, and yeah, I'm still riding the high.
Yeah, we're gonna go see it tomorrow. So.
Yep, I want to see it again.
I gotta wait till I'm in Texas to see it again, and it's killing me.
Mm.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Just build up a little anticipation
yeah,
for it.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see it again. I'm curious if the energy stays at the
That's what I'm
level, you
wondering
know.
too. Yeah.
But
Interesting.
I think going on, I guess it wasn't opening night, but you know, Friday night when it opened,
Mhm.
That's where I went.
it was so fun. It was great. It was a
Yeah.
great experience, and I was hoping, you know, the energy would still be there, even though it wasn't Thursday night. But
Mhm.
yeah,
I don't want to warp expectations, but I walked out 5 stars, baby.
yeah, same here.
This
As soon
isn't a
as it
review
got
episode,
over,
but
yeah,
it deserves it.
as soon
I
as it
think.
got over, I was like, "That's a 5-star." Right there.
Nice.
Yeah, that's mad. It's got
Hell
magic.
yeah. All right, who's got number 2 left?
Mine was Succession.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's
just
high up
so
there.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like one of my favorite TV shows. I'm surprised it surpassed Ted Lasso, but like this one just, I don't know. it's
What is it? Is it the
just my
the
baby.
conversations? Like what is it
I
about
don't know.
it?
It's just how the characters are, and like every time Tom's on my screen, I just want to hug him,
Yeah, right.
but also
That poor
slap
guy.
him in
Right?
the face. You know,
Yeah.
he's just like, I don't know. It's
The
just
first
so
half of
good.
the season 3 where he just is like depressed
Yeah.
and he just thinks he's gonna go to jail.
Just researching prisons here.
He's
Like,
got
what
a
do you
prison
think?
expert
You just
helping
have
him
to
out.
accept it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like the scene with him and Kendall in the diner.
Mhm.
Great.
That's my favorite scene of season 3
So
is when
good.
he's like, I've seen your dad win every single time.
Yeah.
And I've seen you lose.
And it
Never
pays
seen him
off
get
at the end of the
fucked, yeah.
season, you know,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
dude.
Who's
he
Also,
with?
the Tom
Yeah.
and Greg part where it's like, "Well, Greg, do you want to make a deal with the
That's
devil?"
what- yeah, that's what
and
he's
he's
saying.
like,
who needs
"What
a
else am I gonna
soul?
do with a soul?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just like, "Fuck yeah!"
They're like, I was on Greg's side, obviously from the very beginning, but
Mhm.
he's just becoming shitty now, and
He's
it's
like, he's
hard
morphing
to-
into a monster.
It's like hard to root for him a little more.
but
now,
I kind of
still
love
him.
that.
Right?
You
I
can't
feel
help but love Greg.
Oh yeah,
Gregory.
He was just along for the ride, and
Right.
now he's like
Dude,
part
if-
of the ride. Now.
Yeah.
Like,
His
you know,
mom tells
like
him
learning
just
how to
go in
climb
and
the
get his
ladder.
job back at the amusement park, and now look
Yeah.
at him.
Yeah,
right? I swear to God, though, like if Greg and Tom don't fuck by the end of the show,
That's what
they're
I told
setting it
Sarah.
up so hard.
I
Yeah.
told Sarah, I said, this is the best power couple on television
Seriously.
right now, are
that
Greg
was
and
the
Tom.
most romantic I've seen.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
in the show, I mean, like
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, like
God.
Tom's in a relationship with Greg.
Yeah.
like
Right.
it's
Yeah,
100%. Like
definitely.
him and
Yeah.
Shiv clearly don't have love for each other, or whatever. but,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's all about him and Greg.
what do they say? Like, I love you, but I don't love you. I was like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah.
Like,
So fucked
it's
up.
so messed up, but it's so good.
It is. Kendall's great. I think he's one of I think what's his name, Jeremy Strong.
Yeah.
He just got the best actor of the month or something award or whatever, and
he deserves it.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's good. I mean, the only other thing I've seen him in is the Trial of Chicago 7, and that's with like Sacha Baron Cohen.
He's like a different character in that one.
He's like a hippie in that. Yeah.
The only one I've seen him in is The Gentleman.
Me too. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I haven't seen that.
Every time when I first saw him, I was like, my Mossab crabs or whatever. That's the first thing I thought. You know? But
he's playing a pretty fun role in that, from what I remember.
Oh yeah,
he's
so
like
I love The
dealer.
Gentleman. I turn that on all the time and watch
Really?
it. Yeah,
I only saw it the one time, but
yeah,
it's fantastic.
I mean, just from like I didn't see The Gentleman, but yeah, it seems like he's got potential, like good range and stuff, and like, can do different stuff
for sure.
Yeah, that scene where he reads Shiv's like press release or something.
Yeah,
where he was just sitting down. And
Yeah.
was just like, oh,
he's like
so
about
good.
to go out and do that weird show or whatever,
Yeah.
and then he's just like, no, I can't do this.
He's just like spiraling down.
yeah,
this
everything
season.
he's
It's
going
just
through in this
amazing.
season is just like, damn, dude,
you like
come here,
hurt
let me
for
give you
him.
a hug.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
like at the end when he actually breaks down. With,
Yeah.
like,
I was
even, like,
waiting
oh,
for it to.
I'm glad he finally
happen.
revealed
Yeah.
like why he has this darkness
Yeah.
now. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Kieran Culkin?
Kieran Culkin.
Yeah.
Just so funny.
He plays that role really well.
So
He does.
Almost
It's-
a little too well.
It's,
Just kidding.
yeah.
Oh.
No, it's the characterization is the reason why I think that show for me is why I love
Yeah.
it so much.
Why it stands.
good.
Yeah.
Just the growth of those or lack thereof.
Yeah.
honestly.
And I know we talked about it the other night, but like you're like, it doesn't like get anywhere.
Yeah,
but like
it's kind of House of Cardsy where it's
Yeah.
like treading water with stakes that they present to you as super serious, and then that by the end of the next episode, it doesn't matter at
Right.
all.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about that because I was like, you're not wrong, but at the same time, I really am there just for the characters and they're they're what they're going through. That's what I'm there for. So I think that's why it doesn't bother me as much that they set up these huge things that happen, and then of course you're like, oh my god, but then at the same time you're like, I really just want to be with these characters forever.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, I think they know that too.
Yeah.
Like they're taking baby steps in the story now to like move characters onto different sides of the board, or
Right.
whatever. But I just wonder, like, is everything in the show going to happen in the last season? Like that's what it feels
yeah.
like now.
Yeah.
But I'm here for it, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, because what they set up in the beginning was like, can Logan Roy make it out? Like, is he gonna fucking die? And like, like,
Yeah.
so if he dies by the end of the show and everything comes to head and shit goes crazy and people end up somewhere on the pyramid,
Yeah.
that's probably. I
And
could
one
see
thing
that
they
happening.
did, like the marketing, like I don't know if you guys saw the posters they released.
The hallway or whatever.
Yeah, and like there was like 3 different scenarios.
Yeah.
And like everyone at the end, everyone was like, "Oh my god, we've known it all along." It was just right there. I love when shows or movies do that. It's just
It's like subtle
Yeah.
views.
so good. Chef's kiss.
Yeah.
Really smart show. The writing of that show is phenomenal. Like
It is.
just the interactions of everyone is
Right.
super great.
Like they make the most of everything.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Great pick.
Number
Yeah.
2, yeah, that was a good one.
Thanks.
Are we on? Everybody good now?
Yeah, that's everybody's number 2, I
Number
think, right?
One.
Yeah.
Number 1.
The top picks of the year. Who wants to say the number 1 first?
Well, y'all know it already.
That's
French
true.
Dispatch for me.
Yeah, sorry to
French
shit on that
Dispatch.
for you.
Oh,
I
good.
didn't mean to run over your number 1 pick there.
No, you're good.
The French Dispatch was on all of our top 10.
Yeah.
Right, that's
Yeah,
I'm like
exactly.
it's in the list, and
Yeah.
you know that tells you enough. It's good enough.
This was equally like one of my best theater experiences this year.
Oh yeah, it was a
It
blast.
was only like 10 to 15 people maybe.
Mm.
But just like people were laughing at the right times. Like this is the first Wes Anderson movie I've seen in theaters.
Same.
And
Yeah.
it's like the love, man. The love I felt for this movie was crazy. I didn't expect it to be that high. but
Right.
It was.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
There was only 4 of us in our theater, and I knew
Yeah.
every one of them, so
Yeah.
it was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous. I still have to see Wes Anderson in the theater. But I mean, anyway, I watch it on my small MacBook screen. But I mean, it was
Still
amazing.
good.
So
Still
good.
good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Still worth it.
What about you guys? Your top of the list. Where are we at?
Mine was Midnight Mass. I mentioned this earlier, but
Yeah.
it's just I love dialogue scenes, and this has a lot of them, and it was never boring, and it just makes you think. I'm still to this day thinking about what happens when you die,
Wow.
and
Yeah.
it did that for me. It's like, yeah,
was
what
this
does
show
happen?
like the hook was there in the show? You know what I'm saying? Like, was there like I don't know? Like you seem like you were so drawn in. I'm just curious because like I'm not a huge horror guy. I'm curious like.
See, the thing is it's marketed as like a horror. Obviously, it's kind of like Malignant, but a little different because it's not as wild as Malignant. But yeah, I guess it's a horror movie. It's more like a monster movie.
Okay.
I guess in a way. don't want to say too much.
Is there
because
like discovery along the way then that you're finding?
There is, and it hooks you in the first episode because it gives you that mystery of like, what's going on in this town? Why are these healings happening and stuff? And you think, oh, it's going to be something religious, and it is, but it's a different take on religion and angels and things like that. But then you have the people who were out of the town, who got out of this small town that was cornered by this church, and then they come back, but they hang on to their ideas, and they give that aspect of like, this is what happens, my thoughts. There's a scene between two characters, and she's like, well, what happens when you die? And I'm kind of leaning towards what the guy said. I'm like, yeah, no, I can relate more to that than what she says, and what the church says happens, and things like that. So it still has me thinking about what happens when you die, what's the next step, and then you have the church and what people do for the church and things like, I don't know, it's just great.
What they make you believe.
I don't know how you guys feel about long dialogue scenes. That's the big drag about what everyone's been complaining about. It's like, oh, it's so long.
Yeah.
But it's good. I don't know.
Well,
makes
Mike
you think.
Flanagan is really good. Like in Hill House, I think
Yeah.
that like the scene where Nell talks about the confetti, like that long monologue. I was just like,
it's like that in every single episode.
See,
there's
I
a
love
long
that.
monologue,
Yeah.
but it makes you think. You're just sitting there and you're like, damn, what do I believe? What do
Yeah.
what's
I
going to
like,
happen to me after I die?
I feel like I'm always kind of in an existential crisis. So
Right.
give me some like food for my brain, and I'll probably enjoy it.
Let me
It's
eat itself
deeper in
again.
existential crisis.
like all these long drive. I have an hour drive to work every morning, and then even longer on the way home, and I'm still thinking about this movie.
Yeah.
And like, what is going to happen? Is what he said. That's
Is this
that's
true?
believable, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I don't know.
Is there a season 2 or is it just one?
It's just one series,
One
and he's been
done?
he's been working on this one for a long time, because I think in his movie Hush, he has like a book on the shelf that
Yeah.
says Midnight Mass on it.
Wow.
So this is like, to me, I feel like this is like his baby.
I see.
You know,
Yeah. Okay.
Did you guys did you see Hush? I liked
Hush, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I have
really
not
good.
seen
I
Hush
haven't
yet. I need to though, because
Simple-
Mike Flanagan's talented.
Simple premise done
Yeah.
really well.
Yeah.
Done, executed
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like, even with Hill House, the directing in that and the writing is
So
like,
good.
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
What he does in the long take in that episode 8, was it, or whatever?
Yeah,
Whew.
it's really good. And I think he's really good with because it's a really big concept and idea and like
Yeah.
story, but he's so good with just bringing it all together
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
end.
And it's just like with the long dialogue scenes, what makes it more compelling too is like, it's always like a slow zoom in as they're talking throughout this like 5-minute dialogue, and I'm just sitting on the couch like, yeah, give
You're
me more.
getting physically close to the
yeah.
screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Yeah.
keep
Just, like,
going.
next to the screen before
Yeah.
you even know, oh, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
it's-
if it's horror, like the thing about Hill House for me too is like it's horror not because of the ghosts and
Yeah.
the monsters. It's what happened and like how it happened.
How the family got
Yeah.
blown apart, and
So I'm
you
thinking
know,
Midnight Mass is probably
it's, for me it's better.
yeah.
But I
Okay,
think
I'm really excited to
yeah,
see it.
I don't know. It's just the writing of it is what gets me, and it's just, I don't know. I loved it. It was great. I can't hype it up enough, and I wish it was out there more for
Yeah.
more people to see. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in your number one for a reason. So
right.
It's-
reason enough to check it
yeah,
out.
Right.
it's great
For sure.
I highly recommend it.
Cool.
But-
Cool. You want to go,
Yeah,
Patricia?
my number one is Tick Tick Boom. Honestly, it has everything going against it for me. Lin-Manuel Miranda directing it,
Yeah.
like because In the Heights was kind of just
yeah,
Yeah.
this year.
I feel that.
Same.
and I heard
Yeah.
he was directing it. I was like, oh my god, no.
Yeah.
And then Andrew Garfield, and then
Oh,
Vanessa
yeah.
Hudgens. I was like,
Right.
Okay.
I still want to watch it, but why?
Right.
And then I watched it, and I could not move after. I was just
Yeah.
very
Wow.
very emotional for some reason, because I think, like you said earlier, he needed to decide if he had to take
Yeah.
this job that his friend was offering
Mhm.
or keep writing and be in debt or whatever.
Yeah.
And just how passionate he was, and
Mm.
even his friends were like, don't stop
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
doing it. But
Yeah.
sometimes you just think about stuff like that, and reality has to set in sometimes. You have to either keep going or just face the facts.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I feel like Andrew Garfield just performed it really well that I felt it, that I was like, bro, I feel it so much.
You know how to bring that conflict in yourself
like
out.
it gave me like an existential crisis afterwards. I was like, should I face the facts? Should I,
I have to decide.
Right,
I have
exactly.
to decide.
And like I said earlier, I'm a huge fan of Rent and a lot of like Easter eggs from it.
Oh my god!
Like in that diner scene, all those Broadway people, I was just like, bro,
it was
you're
a
there?
bunch of people from Hamilton in there.
Yeah. And the three homeless people in there were from they were from Rent, like the original cast members, as the bums.
Cool.
Yeah.
But like it was just so good, and then tie in what's his name, Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah.
And it was just
like the prestige character.
Yeah. And I don't know, it just resonated a lot.
Oh, for sure.
In my life.
I had no idea it was based on a true story going in.
Yeah.
And immediately I knew, I mean, they kind of tell you who he is when he, like, the writer or whatever, but like you can tell from the movie Tick, Tick, Boom, the experiences he is reflecting on in Rent.
Right.
Like all of everything he's going through is what he puts into Rent.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see, just like how you reflect your art into like with real life. And
exactly.
And like throughout the journey of the movie, he has to find that next story, and then we the audience know exactly what that next story is. It's the one we're watching right now.
Right.
Yeah, it's cool. You're like witnessing him as like the vessel for it all, and that kind of thing. And if anything, it's just a tribute to like
seriously
him and
saddest ending for that. Like the night before Rent goes on Broadway, he dies from like random.
Yeah.
Man,
and
that's crazy.
I just love the story too. Like they were gonna perform it, but they couldn't do it because everyone's sad. So they were just sitting down on the table performing it, and then they reached. I don't know if you guys seen Rent, but they performed La Vie Boheme, and then they all just started dancing and like on top of tables, and then proceeded with the show as it was.
Wow, that's cool.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I just love it so much.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-person show, like in I don't know if it ever went on Broadway, but off Broadway it was a 3-person show. So I was like
the Tick, Tick, Boom show. Okay.
I was curious how they were gonna do it,
portray it.
But I don't know. Lin-Manuel Miranda really made it work.
Pulled it out. Yeah.
The direction was pretty apt, I thought, for Miranda. Honestly, like it was like what you said with
In the Heights.
In the Heights, it was just kind of lacking something.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one just had a little more of the personal touch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not
I feel that. Well, yeah, because like I think everyone can agree that Hamilton's pretty good, and like that most people like Hamilton. And then In the Heights, like shook my confidence in him a little bit, and then seeing this, I was like, oh, okay. Yeah,
I think it makes sense though, because In the Heights was like before he wrote Hamilton.
Yeah.
So it's like he's not as good, and then Hamilton was the one that broke out, and now he's still going now.
Right.
With Tick, Tick, Boom. Clearly, he's still on his
on
roll.
a roll.
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it today.
Yeah. Glad you resonated because it is. I mean, I give it 4 stars. I'm sure.
Yep. Me too.
Same.
Me too.
Like how you say you keep thinking about what happens after you die, like that last song, Louder Than Words. It's like cages or wings, like which I'm like, I always like it's in my head.
Yeah. I think the one that I want to listen to this soundtrack again because there was some really good songs.
So good.
The one was Johnny's Decision or something like that. It's like in the middle of the movie where it's kind of just like a ballad, and he literally has to decide.
Yeah.
That song was so fucking good.
So
Oh
good.
my god. Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, good stuff. Good pick.
All right.
Top one.
Should we end it with a banger, guys?
Oh god.
Numero uno. What is it?
So my number 1, guys, is Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh,
I know, guys. This is not.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, no, I'll try my best here. This is not the best movie of the year. Like anyone would agree, probably that this is not the best movie of the year. This is my favorite movie of the year. I'm gonna say because ever since I watched it, it became number 1 on my list, and it never changed. And I watched it in theaters, and it was the first movie back in theaters that I'd seen.
Yeah.
And I think it touched something in my soul again to be in the theater watching this fucking stupid ass movie. Like it was a stupid ass movie, but like it was such a smart movie too.
Yeah.
Because it knew exactly what it was. It knew exactly the tone it needed to take. once the credits started rolling and it's like the Kong like tribal music and then the Godzilla like synths start to kick in, I'm like, fuck yeah, here we go. Like I'm in. Yeah. And then like the fights, the CGI, everything great. They literally are just mashing toys together for you on the big screen.
Yeah, they didn't overthink it.
They didn't Adam Wingard, he's not the best filmmaker, but I think he just really knew how to take this one. Like the title sequence really did something for me where it's like Godzilla versus Kong. Literally, that's it. Yeah. And like we're doing it. We're putting them together. We have a few kind of human characters that are like we'll bring you along with them, kind of to like have language in our movie, literally. But it's all about them. It's all about getting them together at the end and like exploiting the idea of the entire movie, which was perfectly executed. Okay, maybe not perfectly. Like Millie Bobby Brown, that subplot, trash. I will give you all this.
Absolute trash. That's what brought it down for me personally.
No, I get the main story, like Skarsgård and the girl, and
the Kong side of it really was like there was a human element there, and like I understand the Godzilla subplot because it's like they're trying to deal with like the conspiracy of Godzilla. Like where is he going to show up? Nobody knows where he's just the fucking. We don't know who he is. And then Kong's like he's the ape, he's the human. Yeah. So it's like the two sides of the different story. Like I see what they were going for. I feel like I've gone way too much on this movie now because I have to defend myself. But
I could go on and on because I'm with you because like those are movies you can sit in a theater and just be like, I know what I'm getting into here. Yeah. And I know I'm probably going to enjoy it for the most part. You know, like I'm going to have fun at the very end.
It was. I mean, the fight scene at the end, that was a blast.
Awesome.
That's a great time.
Yeah, great.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I mean, and you get to see fucking cities leveled. While, I don't know, I feel like I'd be like Tommy Pickles with Reptar, you know, like stomping through and Chucky shows up with his little ape man and we do, you know.
The boat scene, like with Kong, he's like jumping across the boats. I literally pictured myself as a kid being like, boo, boo, boo. Like, you know, like literally
sinking
like,
ships.
Yeah. It was just a bunch of fun. It brought me back into the theater, brought me back into the experience of like a blockbuster. I watched it like the day after, I want to say, on HBO Max too. Like, I just wanted to watch it again.
Did that similarly too. Yeah, saw it in theaters, and then maybe a couple days after, I was like, I want to watch it again.
Yeah, it's fun. There's a few movies. Suicide Squad was one where I wanted to watch it right away, and then now Spider-Man's another one where I want to get into it again. But I know it's like not the best movie. It was just I wanted to give it some credit. I had a great time. Yeah. It kicked off the year right for me for movies, and
fair enough.
That's number one, baby.
It's the best movie to you, and that's what matters.
To me.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It did something special. I'm sure it did it for other people too. You know?
Right. Some people will get me. A lot of people probably don't, but you know, it's fine.
Comment if you agree with Matt.
If you agree, just let me know.
Or don't agree and tell them what a fucking idiot.
I'll hear it. All right, this was pretty fun. I like this top 10.
Good list. I think we all like had. Obviously we had like similar picks and other different placements, but
good variety.
Yeah, good variety. Solidified your guys' tastes in my mind. I'm glad we're all movie lovers, and like we can all agree or disagree on stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know. Should we ask the viewer if they want to make their own top 10 list?
Yeah, what would your top 10 and then the bottom 3 too?
Yeah,
I keep forgetting about those bottom 3s.
Right. I just want to see what the worst movies for most people are too.
Yeah, and I mean, they'll probably there might be some from our top 10 that are in your bottom 3.
Let us know why.
For sure, Godzilla's going.
But
yeah, we'll.
this was fun.
See you next year, guys.
Make another one next year.
Yeah.